We're going to talk about the most effective Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy strategies for fat loss and muscle gain. What does that look like? Lose the most amount of body fat, don't lose muscle, and don't have to stay on them forever. So we're going to break down right now. Here's what you do, the roadmap. Let's go.
You must be fired up from your recent interview with Dr. Seeds that you just went down and had, huh? This is like, I'm sure, probably the major conversation you guys had.
Yes, and when you look at the what the data looks like on those peptides, otherwise known as GLP peptides, super effective for weight loss. The most effective medical intervention we've ever seen, period, end of story. Not even close. It's in its own category. But when we look at the data, what we see is a significant amount of muscle loss, and we see a relatively high fail rate when people try to come off. Mm-hmm. They try to come off, and 6 months to a year later, they tend to gain the weight back. And so people's concerns are valid. It's like, hey, I don't want to lose muscle, and do I really have to stay on this forever? Now, I want to be very clear. The GLPs are not causing the muscle loss. So this is very important for people to understand. GLPs don't cause muscle loss. It's not a muscle wasting peptide, but they do suppress appetite so much that people will cut their food intake down so much that what the body does, what it always does when you cut your food intake that low, is it tries to adapt to the new energy intake by reducing expensive tissue, muscle. And so the body will lose muscle in an attempt to meet the new caloric intake. And so what we see in the data is 30, 40% of the weight loss coming from muscle, which poses its own problems, right? You're looking at increased rates of frailty, increased rates of things like osteopenia, weakness, loss of mobility, and then all the other side effects that come from really low calorie intake, which is like loss of energy, loss of libido, that kind of stuff. So those are some of the main things to consider.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big misconception with the public is that it leads to the muscle loss, but also that it's a fat burner on some level, and really they don't understand the mechanisms. Really, it's just the appetite suppression.
I mean, that's all it is in its simplest form, right? Like the main thing that it's doing, and I know that their studies are showing like all these like neurological stuff and behavioral stuff that's happening with like smoking and all the other, there's like other added benefits, which you could probably argue and debate that could have something to do too with lowering the inflammation in the brain and not eating all this garbage. Like the real thing that all it does is it keeps somebody from eating a lot of calories. Not just a lot, but it keeps it low. And
you're comfortable.
And if you took to another way to say what you were saying is that you could take the exact same person and they're running a GLP-1 and it suppresses their appetite to where they eat 900 calories a day for 2 months and they're going to have X amount of muscle they lose. You take somebody who's not on that same person, not on a GLP-1, but still also eating 900 calories and they'll lose exactly the same amount of muscle.
You'll see very, very similar.
Yeah, it'll look almost identical. Right. And so the muscle loss that they have is due to the low calorie diet, which is something that long before GLP-1s were really popular in the fitness space, we would see all the time with clients. Yep. This is a super common thing. This is why we've been beating the drum forever about cardio being such a terrible source or mechanism for fat loss, because what ends up happening, so many people go on restrictive diets where they go from eating like shit to cutting their calories because we were told eat less, move more, and then they run on a treadmill. So they create this crazy deficit. They undereat, they're overtrained, and then they end up they lose 30 pounds on the scale, but 15 of it ends up being muscle. Right. And so this is not new. Mm-hmm. This science that you're seeing unfold.
Different drivers, but same thing.
What's new is you're not hungry eating so little calories.
Right, it's easy.
Right.
The difference now is the people that could to only eat 900 to 1,000 calories and do an hour of cardio every day before had to white knuckle it.
Right.
Just grin and bear it and like, oh my God, and just fight the hunger pains, where now they can take this GLP-1 and they forget to eat because they don't have these cravings, they don't have this appetite. And so it's becoming this quick hack to, I could easily cut my calories in half.
Now there is a way to use, here's the good news, there is a way to use a GLP and have tremendous success. And we're going to define it again by this.
We've seen it.
Not losing muscle. By the way, you don't want to lose muscle for a lot of reasons. You don't want to get weaker. You don't want to lose mobility. You also don't want a slower metabolism. That sucks.
Yeah.
Imagine this: you eat really low calories for a while, lose weight, and now you always have to eat really low calories because anything above that, you gain weight faster than you did before because you lost muscle, right? So we don't want to lose muscle. And then in an ideal world, I think if you talk to anybody about any medication, but especially a GLP, if you said to them, ideally, would you like to be able to get off of this once you reach your goal? They would say yes. So ideally, in a perfect world, don't lose muscle, and you don't have to stay on this thing forever. So we're going to break it down. We're going to break down how to do this the right way. Now, there is a beginning part to this, which does not include the GLP. So here's where it's going to get real challenging for people. We're going to start off without using the GLP because what we're going to try to do is build muscle going into using the GLP. Why? We want to create a little bit of a buffer before we get into the calorie cutting effects of the GLP. So here's what it looks like. Number one, you're going to start lifting weights now. You're not taking a GLP. You're just going to start lifting weights. And for most people, this looks like 2 days a week or 3 days a week, full body, very basic compound lifts. The goal is to get stronger. And I also want you to hit your protein targets. Hit your target body weight in protein and do this for 60 days. Now, here's what we're going to see in 60 days. Probably no weight loss on the scale. You might get a little leaner because you might be losing body fat and building muscle, but you're going to get stronger. I want you going into using a GLP stronger than you would have had you not done it, what we're saying right here.
Oh, for sure.
So lead into, give yourself 60 days. Okay, for the next 60 days, I am going to prepare or prep my body for going on a GLP. It's a great way to set yourself up.
There's other reasons too why I think that's so important, Sal, is like, you know what it's like when, I know for you maybe not because it's been so long since you've probably fallen off the wagon or not been consistent for a month or two. But man, when you have just a month or two of not training for me and then coming back, those first couple weeks, just there's no muscle endurance. You have no stamina.
Shaky,
yeah. I mean, like it's always tough for those first couple weeks of getting back, and then you kind of get acclimated. Your body remembers it, and you're back. And that if you've never experienced a GLP-1, that's difficult without low calorie. And so when you go into working out like that, and you are not adapted at all to training, and then you're also a lower calorie diet, it is really difficult to push through that. And so there's another benefit, I think, to beside what you're claiming with muscle and your metabolism and strength and all those things, I think. But even just that, like if I were to take somebody who is not trained at all, start a GLP-1 and then try and start their training, you just made it exponentially more difficult to be motivated to go there because it's already hard. And then you're at your low calorie because you're on this diet. So at least this trained person has been acclimated to lifting and have a little bit of muscle.
You have a certain level of fitness.
Yeah, you have a certain level of fitness and endurance. And it makes a big difference when you're on that. One of the things that personally I remember reporting on here with you guys that really surprised me was just how difficult it was to be motivated to lift because you're so consistently under eating and low calorie. Yeah. And I remember what that was like competing, but I had also ramped my calories up so high that in a cut I still was.
You came in from an off season where you're fit, strong, and fed.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I didn't feel the same kind of weakness and tired and fatigued to not want to go in.
Yeah, you're such a good point, Adam. Basically what people are doing when they're starting a GLP and then trying to start exercise at the same time is they're entering into this deconditioned and reduced calories.
Yes.
Ooh, that's tough.
It is.
Doesn't it make sense to go in after 60 days of being relatively consistent, building some strength, building some fitness, hitting your protein targets, boom, now let's go on the GLP.
Yep.
Now I've got kind of a running start.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
100%.
Now here's what happens. So if you do this for 60 days consistently, and I know, listen, you might be listening and going, 60 days? I got to be consistent for 2 months? Yes. Look, here's the deal. I'm not asking you to be disciplined and consistent for the rest of your life. I know that's the ultimate goal. That's what we want. But I want you to be honest with yourself. If I cannot promise myself to be consistent for 2 months, I got no business starting on a GLP.
Agreed.
There I said it.
There it is.
Okay. Yep. There I said it. 2 months. All I'm asking is 60 days. 60 days. Can you be consistent? 2 to 3 days a week. That's it. 2 to 3 days a week.
Well, you're not even asking for really 60 days, Sal, when you think of it like that, because you're only asking for 2 to 3 days a week over the course of 2 months.
That's right.
So you're really only asking
like 16 workouts or something.
Yeah. It's like commit to 16 workouts in a row,
That's
right?
right.
Like that you don't miss one of those days in the week. And that's not a lot.
That's all you got to do. So just say to yourself, okay, before I go into GLP, here's what I'm going to promise myself. I'm going to give myself 60 days of decent consistency. And by the way, I'm not telling you, because you might be on the other end of this, you might be so motivated, you're like, I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. Don't do that. 5 days a week is not going to build more muscle and make you stronger. For most people listening, unless you've been working out for a while already, but if you're just getting started, 2 to 3 days a week is the most that you'll get benefits from. Any more than that, you're actually going to work more on healing than adapting. In other words, it's going to be too much. Your body's not going to adapt very well. So for 2 months, 2 to 3 days a week, full body workouts, consistently hit your target body weight and protein. Promise to yourself, I can do anything for 60 days, do that. Then you get into, now we're going to start the GLP, and here's where you start. Minimal effective dose. What you don't want is you don't want to take a dose of GLP that makes you so nauseous or that your appetite is so low that eating anything feels terrible. We don't want to go into a dramatic, crazy calorie deficit right out the gates. If that happens, you're going to set yourself up for failure. I don't care how great your strength training is. It makes no difference. If your calories are too low, where you're just barely eating anything, and let me tell you, this happens.
You're not going to hold on.
This happens when people take too high of a dose of a GLP. Food becomes not just, I don't think about it, but it becomes repulsive or I feel nauseous. This will kill anything that we're trying to accomplish right now, which is to preserve muscle. So it's better to start with a dose that is too low to where by week 2 or 3, you talk to your doctor, you say, I think I need to increase the dose because I actually notice no reduction in appetite. It's better to do that than to jump in with too much of a dose. And after the first week, you talk to your doctor, like, I cannot choke down a smoothie, let alone food. You don't want to be in that position. It's too catabolic. So you want to start with the minimum effective dose. Step 2, you want to keep lifting. Now here's what gets crazy. I've been working out for 2 months. I'm finally on a GLP. I'm so excited. Here's, what am I going to do with my workouts? Reduce the volume. Now here's where people think this doesn't make sense. What do you mean, Sal? I just started GLP. I got the ball rolling now. Why am I cutting my volume of training? Shouldn't I increase it?
No, we're playing the preserve game at this point.
That's right. And so the amount of energy that you can intake, the calories and nutrients that you can take in, so proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, it has a direct role in your ability to recover and adapt to exercise. If I reduce your intake, I reduce your capacity to adapt and to recover. There's an old saying in strength sports, it's not entirely true, but the reason why it sticks around is because there's some truth to it, which is this: there's no such thing as overtraining, only under-eating. And bodybuilders and strength athletes have been saying this for a long time. Now, it's not entirely true because you could push that to extremes and then it doesn't work
Still
anymore.
need the materials to recover.
That's right. But there's some truth to it, which is why this sticks around. The more nutrients you intake, the better your capacity to adapt. So you've just started working out for 2 months. You're hitting your protein intake. Now you're going to GLP, minimum effective dose, brings your calories down. You have a lowered capacity to recover. So whatever you were doing before, do a little bit less. I would say cut down your sets by 1/3 or so and keep doing what you're doing. So reduce the volume. That's what we're looking at.
You just said, I love when you tout the study of how little strength training is required to keep muscle. It's like once every 2 weeks.
Very little.
Very little.
Yeah, there's a certain amount that you would need to build, and then there's a certain amount you need to keep. And what you need to keep is a lot less.
This is the point of the 60 days of committing before. So you build some muscle, build some strength, right? And you have that. And then now it's like, okay, now I just want to hold the line, prevent defense. It's like the goal is to just not lose muscle here. Yeah. I'm certainly not going to build. We are not going to build in a consistent calorie reduction. Getting on this, it's like, can I just hold the line? Yes. Can I hold the line? Because I'm going to drop weight, and I want it to be all body fat. And the way you do that is by playing a prevent defense on it, which is doing the minimal dose, the least amount, right? I want to do the least amount possible to elicit the most amount of change, which is you just sending that signal to hold on to this muscle that we've already built on our body. And any more than that puts you at risk of losing it.
So what it would look like is if you did the 2 days a week, full body, 1 exercise per body part, 3 sets per exercise, you're now doing something like 1 or 2 sets per exercise. So you've just cut it down because your nutrient intake is lower, but stay consistent with it. This will help you keep muscle. Next up, this is where you're going to use a supplement known as essential amino acids. Okay, so You do want to keep your protein intake high, but here's the strategy or the challenge on a GLP. Number one, what you probably noticed in the first 60 days where you were lifting weights and trying to hit your target body weight and protein, what you probably found was that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to eat that much protein.
Without the GLP.
Without a GLP. This is the first 60 days. You weren't even on anything. And you're normally somebody who overeats. Now you're trying to eat 150 grams or 180 grams or 130 grams of protein a day. And you're probably finding this is hard. Like, I just don't want to eat that much protein. Protein produces tremendous satiety in comparison to carbohydrates and fats. And this remains true for about the first 3 years of eating a high protein diet. It's difficult. It's very hard. Now you're on a GLP, eating your target body weight and protein, in our experience, from food, all but impossible. It's so difficult, in fact, that even protein shakes are hard to choke down. This was the part that was really surprising to us when we started working with clients on GLPs, is they would actually oftentimes find it difficult to drink a protein shake. But what they could drink were essential amino acid drinks. They only contain the essential amino acids. They taste like a fruity drink because they're thin. It's not like protein shakes.
They make pill form too if you
They
have
do
to.
make pill form. And essential amino acids maintain muscle mass, build muscle in other studies. And they're quite effective at stimulating what's called muscle protein synthesis. Now, here's what you want. I want to be clear with this because you can find a lot of essential amino acid supplements on the internet. They need to be 40% leucine. Leucine is the trigger for muscle protein synthesis. The leucine is this is what sets things in motion. Without enough leucine, you're basically wasting your time. The best essential amino acid supplement, bar none, hands down on the internet, is Kion. Kion makes the best. Every essential amino acid product they have, both pills and or the powder, is 40% leucine. And so what you would do with this is you would drink this throughout the day. And this is going to help you preserve muscle. A little bit of strength training, you're taking 3 servings of this a day, even in a sub-calorie diet, you're going to lose a lot less muscle by taking this throughout the day. So essential amino acids throughout the day. Now here's where we get to okay, I also need to work on coming off this GLP and staying off it. How can I do that? Well, here's what you do. Our eating habits are often connected to lots of different things. It's typically not just it's lunchtime or it's dinner. Oftentimes it's connected to stress or anxiety or boredom or an activity that I do. You're still going to have those feelings. So when you go on a GLP and your appetite's lower, that doesn't mean you're not going to experience anxiety. Doesn't mean you're not going to experience boredom. What you want to do is consciously replace an old behavior with a new one. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a new behavior pattern. I'm bored, I'm anxious, I'm stressed. What do I do now? That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep training myself to do this because what we're trying to do is have a behavior that sticks around.
Yeah, this is the real work. Yeah, while you're taking it and where the real value is to uncouple some of these like behaviors and associations you have with, this is where I actually go seek out that kind of candy bar, that thing to help calm me down because I'm stressed out.
That's right.
Or whatever it is.
I would argue that the step even before that is learning to become aware of this, right? So it's like some of the clients that I take through this were just unaware of even some of their habits.
Connection.
Yeah. Some of these habits that they had. They didn't realize that, oh, wow, at work, there's this, bowl of nuts that I was always going by and just grabbing it. Like they weren't even counting it or thinking about it until they got on the GLP-1 and realized they hadn't done it in a month or months had gone by. It's like, oh, wow, I noticed that I'm not doing that thing. Or they didn't realize that they always had some sort of a snack after dinner. Or they didn't realize that, one drink always turned into 4. Like there's a lot of things that you'd be surprised that people mindlessly do and aren't even aware of it being a bad behavior. So it's first becoming aware of like, oh, wow, there's that thing that I always used to do that I no longer do anymore. Okay, well, now what am I doing during that time? Or like to your point, like, there's always that stressful time of their job or whatever. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize that during those times in the past, I was also always having drinks at that night, or I was always doing this thing. It's like, and now I'm not doing that. So it's like, okay, that thing still exists where you get stressed out. You're no longer doing that. What then it goes to the step where you're talking about, which is, okay, Now I need to learn, because eventually I won't be on this GLP-1 and I won't have that suppressed for me. What do I need to do now and replace?
So I had a client once, and I can't believe I didn't remember this up until now, but I just remember she had a habit whenever she would watch a movie with her family, she had to eat something. So we just connected this. She's like, man, when I'm watching TV or watching a movie, it's just something conditioned. I feel like I need to be eating something. And it's the silliest thing. She started chewing gum. She'd watch a movie and chew gum with her family, and she's like, it does it for me. I'm chewing on something. I taste the flavor. There's no calories in it.
So when I was competing, I used to go through packs of gum like crazy. Yeah. It was a huge hack. Now I didn't have GLP-1s to help me, so I had to, like, when I was hungry. And just simply getting into a habit of, like, when that hunger cigarette would kick in and I normally would go over and snack on something, I would just go throw a piece of gum in there, and just keeping my mind chewing that was such a huge hack to do that. In fact, that's kind of a bodybuilder hack. There's a lot of guys that
that's where I got it from. That's why I recommended it.
Yeah, that's a common thing that they do, is just like, and again, it highlights your point. Yeah, we have this little bit of a hunger signal, or we have these habits, and simply switching it out for something else. The other one would be water. A lot of times I would just go, pound a bunch of water until I didn't want anymore. It was like, a lot of times I would just go, oh, I'm hungry. It's like, oh, maybe I just need to drink something. And then I'd fill up on water and be like, oh, that would pass. I'd be okay. So there's a lot of things that you can do.
There is. Now, here's what's interesting about a GLP. When you're on one, let's say you're on one for 6 months or a year, the neural networks that you have developed with your old behaviors where you're reaching for food, they actually start to weaken because you don't practice those behaviors. You can build new neural networks for new behaviors, and it's a wonderful period of time to do this, because you're not practicing an old behavior, you're practicing a new behavior, and this sets you up for when you start to come off, which takes us to the last point, which is to scale down. Scale down your dose, work with your doctor, try not to go cold turkey. In our experience, it seems to work better when people lower the dose slowly over time. And also understand this, we're just being realistic here. Many people need to do the on-off a little while before they can finally come off. So they tend to scale down. They're off for 2-3 months. Things are getting out of hand again. Go back on the GLP. Let me try this another couple months. Come off. 2 or 3 trials later, we have a lot of success with people who are on a GLP, did it the right way, didn't lose muscle, feel great, came off, took them 2 or 3 times, off forever, and now they have a lifestyle that supports being lean and fit.
We've helped enough people in here that I've put together some common things with the people that have to do that so many times versus who's the person who just does it one time and then they figure it out. And it has a lot to do with what we were just talking about with becoming aware of the behaviors and implementing. The people that don't do that work come off, and then the habits come right back, and they tend to have to do that 2 or 3 times before they realize,
they start to see what's happening.
Yeah, then they start to see what happens. It's like, man, I was so fine for when I was on it. Now it's like, and then all of a sudden this creeps back in, and then it's like,
come back.
Yeah, it forces them to connect those dots.
Totally.
And so if you skip the process where we're talking about becoming aware of your behaviors and replacing those behaviors with good behaviors or good habits, if you skip that process and you do all the other things we're talking about, you might have success on the GLP-1, then you come off and then you go right back.
Yep.
And then that's what I've noticed is the people that tend to have to do that a few times, that's the way they have to learn their lesson or become aware of, what their habits and behaviors are.
Speaking of weight loss, there was a 2025 study in middle-aged women who used a multi-strain probiotic over 4 months, 40% reduction in anxiety.
Wow.
40%. Here's what's crazy. In another 2025 meta-analysis, probiotics led to greater weight loss, including waist circumference and lowered visceral fat in obese patients. We may be looking at, with probiotics, one of the most important supplements people could possibly take.
We may be looking at, which is so crazy to think because they've been around for so long, the best fat burner that's ever been around.
Dude.
I mean, all the fat burners that were around and marketed for so long were garbage.
Fat burners all promise to make your body burn more body fat. But in reality, they don't really do that.
Right? No.
Probiotics actually do that.
Yeah, get you to move more.
Probiotics actually do that by
influencing the bacteria. And it just shows you how influential your bacteria is.
Dude,
it's astounding.
We may be looking at like an actual fat burning supplement. And then on top of it, a anxiety supplement.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
It's so wild that we're looking at something like that.
Well, I've heard, anxiety a lot of times is derived from the gut, right? That's where it's signaled.
I mean, I'm not, and looking at the journey that we've had with our partnership, how many years now we've been with Seed? We've been with Seed for quite a long time.
5 or more years?
More than 5 years. More than 5 years. Probably 6 or 7 now. And I remember when you were always consistent with taking a probiotic, and I know you were big on it. But I actually didn't think that our audience would support a partnership that well with something like that. I mean, let's be honest. The things that are sexy are the things that sell and do the best. Sure. Yeah, like the building muscle, the burning body fat, the quick hacks or whatever, shortcuts, things like that. And a probiotic, it was like more of the wellness health category. I honestly did not think, but the reviews, the feedback, and our
people don't stop taking it.
They don't.
Nope.
And the stuff that I hear from the people that have taken seed is crazy. Family, friends, people that have been listening and following for a long time. And so it's one of them partnerships that I didn't see coming that would be this long-term partnership that we had because of the reviews.
and they're just so far ahead of other probiotic companies.
I think that's what it is. I think what they've done is there's enough people that listen that were already taking like you, taking different probiotics, and there's like this clear difference.
Mild results from it.
Yeah, and then they take it and they go,
there's a clear difference. Yeah,
yes.
once they take seed.
No. I mean, they're able to keep the bacteria alive without it being refrigerated. It's in a capsule that's designed to deliver the bacteria where it needs to go. They test it through an artificial digestive system that they've created. They have the world's leading researchers in probiotics. There's basically seed, and then everybody else is down here.
Yeah.
So exceptional job. Speaking of seed, I went down to LA to be on Dr. Seed's.
Oh yeah, Dr. Seeds
podcast in LA.
The man.
That guy,
I love that guy.
bro, he's hilarious.
He's the Bruce Buffer of peptides.
He is the way he dresses.
Yes, dude. I'm always excited to see his
he's
shoes and his
gangster.
bow tie. I'm like, I can't wait to see what he's rocking.
You know what
today.
he is, dude? It's like if Adam was a doctor.
I feel that.
Dude.
Hey, I totally feel that.
He's so unfiltered.
He's
dude.
unfiltered,
Bro,
He's definitely
flashy.
He's definitely flashy, and like I feel that. Bit of an asshole too. He's got a little bit. He's got a little bit of a prick streak to him.
but like you love it.
He's so unfiltered, dude. Half the time, I'm like, oh my God, Dr. Seeds. But I walk in and he's sitting at this desk and he has his leg elevated and he's got like bandage wrapped around his leg. I'm like, what happened, dude? What happened to your leg? And I don't remember where he said he was. He was somewhere where there was like this world or this mountain bike riding championship competition that was happening. And I guess the track was open before the competition started. So Dr. Seeds is like, I'm gonna go do this track. Let me go do this. And he bailed. He like went to
Oh my God.
like he tore his like adductors. Yeah.
Oh no.
So he had his leg all bandaged up. Yeah, dude, I was laughing. We were laughing about it together. But it was a good time, dude. You know what? Do you know what he does? He's gonna be so mad. I'm gonna share this because he told me not to say anything, but I will anyway. Do you know what? So before he's got a podcast room where he does his show.
Yeah.
He just really started it, right? He just
It's only
launched
been a
it.
year. I think it's only been a year.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's great, dude. Dr. Seeds is like he's pure integrity. Like he will not, and he's unfiltered, yes, but he will only speak the truth. He doesn't hype or anything like that.
He's also arguably the world leading expert in peptides.
He is.
I mean, who do we know?
Longest.
Who do we know that knows more?
Nobody.
Nobody, right?
You know, here's what I hate.
And we have a lot of friends that know.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
No. Here's what I hate about the peptide space. You compared it to medical marijuana for so long. It's so true. That whole space
similar.
is filled with charlatans and gangsters.
Yep.
It is filled.
Gangsters just hustling.
You meet them and you're like, oh, you're not like, you're just here to make a buck.
Yeah.
And influencers that talk about things like they know what they're talking about. Dr. Seeds he's the only guy that I would say is an authority. I mean, we've had people on here talk peptides and we have fun with them and stuff like that. Dr. Seeds is the authority. There is nobody else I would point to. But anyway, I go in and we're about to do his podcast. I'm like, oh, Sal, we have a girl's gonna do your makeup. I'm like, makeup?
Is that your first time?
I'm like, I gotta do makeup? He's like, yeah. I'm like,
Why couldn't I be there for this?
I'm like, I'm not gonna do makeup. I'm not gonna. They're like, no, but you're shiny. Your forehead's
You're
shiny.
shiny, dude.
I'm not gonna
You're
do
too
it,
shiny.
dude. And so I'm like pushing back, but I could tell that they were like, no, we really want you to do this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the only way I'm gonna do this is if I could talk about this on my show.
Oh my God. Yours would probably be totally different. I'd be all like, they'd try to throw some tanner in there.
Dude, she was like doing stuff on my forehead, trying to make me like, I've never had someone do makeup on my face.
I actually thought for sure
going on?
Lipstick
when I was
with
with
eyeliner?
Not that far.
when I was with Shalene that she was going to offer that, but she's like, she does her own thing. So she was like, before we got ready to podcast,
Yeah, she's real particular about that. Yeah.
she was like, I remember when we had her here. And she was like critiquing,
evaluating just the lighting.
Yeah, she was critiquing the shit out of our light. Like, this is not working. You can put me in the worst place, all this stuff like that. Like, we got roasted, right, by all that. And then I was just like, and I don't think any of us ever put that much thought into it, right?
Never.
I mean, Doug does enough putting into it to make sure it's clear on the.
No, dude, I'm not doing makeup every day.
But the level.
I like food on my face. That's when I care.
The level that some people go to, I was like, man, we could look a lot better.
Dude, whatever.
we could
look a lot, because I can't wait till
she go more viral.
and I had no makeup, right? I didn't do anything she did. But I'm like, I could see they have a TV like we do, right? And I'm like, in the corner of my eye, I could see me, and I'm like, damn, I look kind of good. Like, I've never felt that way on my own show. I never looked at my own show like, God, I look kind of good. I'm like, no, I feel like I look like shit. I look over and I'm like, damn, I didn't know I looked that good. I look hella good on hers.
But Dr. C's is great, dude. He's such a bro too. Super, obviously brilliant. But he's also such a bro, and so we're just having a good time. I just love the guy. He's so great. I can't wait to go speak at his event.
I was off air. I was talking to you, and I think it would be because I know you and him go really deep, especially on the peptides, and I'm sure GLP-1 was a huge conversation with you and him, and all the cutting edge stuff. And so I mean, if Doug's okay with it, I think it would be really valuable for that episode to go live on our platform after they do it. I think our audience would really
that'd be cool.
Enjoy that conversation. I know it doesn't have Justin and I, but I think that it's super valuable.
We had a lot of conversations about researchers versus practitioners. So like in our lingo, it would be like, guys who understand fitness data, and then guys and girls that actually train people. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Seeds is very much a practitioner. He's like, look, I know the data, I know the science, but I also work with people all the time. We had a long conversation about that because he gets people that communicate peptides from this is what it shows in the clinical data.
Yeah, from a mechanistic.
Yes. And he's like, yeah, but here's what actually happens.
Yeah.
When you're working with someone. So we had a lot of conversations around that. What's really cool is when I was explaining on his show what we've experienced with clients and why we coach a particular way, he was then able to explain what's happening on a molecular level, which was really, really cool. Talk about we were talking about adaptation versus recovery.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool to see someone that smart who's like, yeah, you guys are on the right, path type of deal. Mm-hmm. It was cool. It was a good time.
Yeah.
He's always a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think right now with I know you're deep in the weeds with your family and everything too, with the SpaceX getting ready to get launched, dude. This is you got me down the rabbit hole of like, because I just
what's that gonna look like?
I don't know if we share this on air or not. I'll share it on air. I think I alluded to it at one point. I'm a terrible stock picker. Like I'm just terrible. I used, it's funny because there was a time when I was.
It's got to be one of the most humbling things for a guy who's so good with business,
like numbers, but
money.
It's beyond humbling. It pisses me.
The market's a total different anomaly.
It's super.
You're usually right on point.
It's super annoying to me. And you're right, because I feel like I have a decent business acumen, and I feel like that I should be able to pick stock better than I gamble. You know what I'm saying? Apparently not. Apparently, I'm better at sports picking than I am at stock picking.
Type of gambling, yeah.
And so I've already committed to both my son's portfolio and mine. I'm clearing all the losses and taking that, and then I'm going to move everything into an index, and I'm just going to mindlessly every month, not even look at it. It just goes over there. Because looking back over the last, I think it's been 2-3 years that I committed to stopping my sports gambling and going all into stock gambling. I look at the bottom of my portfolio and I'm like, dude, if I would have just indexed this, it just hurts my stomach. And so I've committed all that. But again, so that's where my mind has been. And then here you are in my ear about SpaceX. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, this is how this happens. I know. I got a buddy who's talking to me.
I'm waiting to see if you buy or not. If you buy, I'm not going to get it.
So I can't help myself, but at least go down and do a little bit of research. And so I've been diving into it. And dude, I am just, I saw a breakdown of the valuation that they're getting right now in the trillions of dollars. And you know, and I'm very aware of like how they get these crazy valuations, like in Amazon, which is like 18 times what it's valued at, right? Is what's predicted, and this you have SpaceX is like 100 times. We've never seen anything like this in history. In fact, it's comparable to the entire world's GDP, which is just. That has to be scary for you.
It is. So let me preface this by saying we are now talking way outside of our scope. This is not our expertise whatsoever. We'll get back to fitness in just a second. So when I get torn, bro. I go back and forth. One side is what you're saying. Their value, what they're going to be asking for makes no sense. We've never seen that before.
Right.
On the other hand, what we're looking at essentially, potentially, are the guys who are making the railroads. Yeah. In other words, they're creating a way, and they're the only ones that have this capability.
It's a real solution.
They're the only ones that have this ability. SpaceX is really the only company able to launch satellites into space profitably and quickly, where they're going to be building basically these data centers that are going to get solar power, that are going to be cooled. All this AI, all this technology is going to need it. So essentially, they're building all the railroads that all the businesses are going to need to transport. And so the promise is, well, if he's doing that, the potential's massive. But then on the other hand, it's like, this valuation doesn't
you've seen the backlash at the data centers, like the way they're doing it here, like in Utah, for instance.
Well, we can't do it.
You can't do it. It's unsustainable. There's too many resources it requires.
So I'm familiar with all that, and we need the sun's power.
Yeah,
we need and getting closer to it.
Cool too, yeah.
Right, and so
cooling and all that.
Yeah, so we can't feasibly if AI goes where all these people are predicting it, then we'll need all these data centers. We'll need all this stuff, all this support that we can't literally build down here, and so that makes sense to your argument about railroads. But I'm also back and forth and on the fence of the arguments of the AI hype.
Yeah,
is that there's a lot of hype around it because billions of dollars have moved to that. And so it's in their best interest to keep that going, just like the .com, right? When the .com hype was going on, is like there was so much hype in it and everyone was buying every .com.
I mean, they were right that the internet was going to revolutionize things, but nobody knew which company.
Exactly, and what it was going to look like. Right. Exactly. And also, to me, it's following such a similar pattern where we see this initial job loss, which everybody back then was afraid to. If you were in a brick and mortar business, you were scared to death.
Yeah.
The internet was going to put everybody out of business, and some businesses did go out of business. But then what ended up happening was we got way more business and way more jobs. And I feel like AI is following the same trend. We saw this initial fall off. Software engineers, so that getting replaced, and this one AI tool can replace 10 of them. Yeah. But that's spiking right now.
Well, you got to talk about Chris Williamson's data that he found out about AI.
I think I only sent that to you. Did I send that to everybody? Or was it the thread?
It was so interesting because it's like
I thought that was interesting.
He was talking about how how humans have been affected by social media and how like they can now measurably show how it's lowered IQ.
It's on our group
guess
thread.
what? The same thing's happening to AI because it's aggregating all this junk data.
Did you watch this?
Yeah, when they plugged in this, I saw it. So what they did is they plugged AI into and had it just absorb and learn from social media.
Yeah,
and
it consumes everything.
It
became dumber.
Not
only to become dumber, but they couldn't bring it back.
It lasted.
Yeah, even when it
they caused permanent brain damage.
Yes.
To the AI.
This is so trippy to me, dude.
Which is so wild.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have thought of that,
I don't know. But the other thing too is,
did you guys see that the speech that I shared at Harvard?
I brought that a long time. Yeah, there's like a big pushback with students, because it's like, dude, you set us up for what? Like they hate AI.
Yeah.
Like at least a good majority of like graduating students are.
Well, it's gonna make us dumber.
Well,
it's different than like what we've seen before with things like navigation, which is like this narrow scope of like, okay, and a calculator. Everyone tries to make that leap.
Yeah.
Like, well, we used to do math long form before calculators, and you used to, used to pull a map out to go figure out that's just a very narrow scope. This thing is replacing everything you think about.
You know what we might
that's
have?
Getting to that place where people are just outsourcing to that for everything.
I hung out with a friend of mine, John, who had recently just met, and he invests in startups and AIs, and he said The dumb companies are using AI to try to figure out how to do more with less people. He goes, or get rid of people. He says, no. Smart companies are trying to figure out how they can do more with more.
Right.
Can we have this AI produce so much more, and we have more people producing so much more? That's what the smart companies.
Well, and that's the curve that we just saw. So like, this is what I'm talking about. We saw this massive layoff of software engineers and all the fear mongering around. Everyone's going to lose their job. And now it's on this huge spike back. And I think that's because the smart companies.
Did you see, was it Chase Bank? And like now they're putting more money into actually having more actual people in the branches. I was like, why?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes, it was really interesting. I don't know if there's a movement now for actual human-to-human interactions because of some kind of pushback of AI.
Well, you can't get around the fact that we need to be around people. We're super relational. Period. End of story. And all the data will show this. We just need to be around people.
But like a bank, like that was surprising to me because that's one of those things. Like,
I mean, I have a theory on that.
Who needs them to tell me?
Well, I think you're talking about somebody's money. Like if I'm skeptical ever, like to like send money or do something like that, it's like doing it all automated. Not having a person who I know is like, hey, my money's going like you. So there's probably a lot of fraud.
For security.
There's probably so much fraud that's happening on the banking side with AI tools and people hacking into emails and doing things like that. That they're probably going back to like, okay, we need to have people who answer the phone, who sit down with somebody and actually do a wire
reassure them. And,
reassure them because I think there's become that's my theory. That's a valid theory. I'm just throwing.
It's interesting back to what you said about we're going to get dumber. You know what happened with the internet is a lot of people became dumber, but some people became a lot smarter. So we actually have most people lost.
That's fair. It'll create a bigger gap.
Yeah, but some people were used the internet and used technology to become even smarter. Well, AI may do the same thing.
Yeah, but that's
I'm sure
that goes into your. I mean, that's how uprisings and overthrowing empires happen. Is then it comes the wealth gap greater, right? Because if you got all these people that are way smarter and you have way dumber. Then they're going to make way more money.
Unrest.
And they become way, exactly. Then,
but back to the SpaceX, there was a huge sell-off in the market. There was like a huge drop. The speculation is that people were trying to liquidate.
That's what they say about
SpaceX.
That's the
get rid of all the stuff.
Yeah, like Bitcoin.
That's what I was listening to my boy Nagibi talking. That's what Bitcoin was. The big drop on Bitcoin was. He made this argument that a lot of big bullish Bitcoin people are also huge Elon Musk fans.
Sure.
And so they're bought in that the next big run is going to be on SpaceX, and so they're liquidating Bitcoin to go over there.
The thing too about
which makes sense why it's like huge lows.
And the thing about Elon, which is very fascinating, because you're also betting on a guy. Anytime you buy a person, right? Anytime you buy a company, you also have to look at the person and kind of buy the person. And that dude. He
comes through.
I don't care whether
his ideas.
I definitely wouldn't bet against him.
Whether you like him or not, because you cannot like him, you can like him, but it's an objective fact that he's the greatest entrepreneur in the history of the world.
Yeah.
He's built more.
God, that triggers some people.
It does, but it's just a fact. How many companies has he turned into billion-dollar companies? But not just that. If you look at his companies, he's got SpaceX, Tesla. He uses Grok and X. What else does he own? These are all things he can integrate. And work together.
Boring Twitter.
Or he could take all these things, integrate them. You know that all the Teslas that when they're parked become a supercomputer.
Yeah.
And they're collecting all kinds of insane data.
Yeah.
I mean, he can integrate all that.
I was listening to
his own ecosystem.
I was listening to one of my car shows today, and there's a guy that's like one of the most famous tuners who tunes all the cars. Like gets in there and takes the computers out and then retunes them and stuff. And he was talking about on there that people have no idea that, there's this big scare of like the cars being able to be controlled. And so he's like
hacked.
He's like, that technology is in all cars for the last 20 years. He goes, my job is to go in and write that code and do that code. He's like, I can see it in every car that has a computer in it. It can be taken over and controlled.
That makes me feel good.
So this whole fear of like, oh, it's coming. It's like that's
it's been here.
It's that he goes. It literally can be somebody can go in and do that on if you're
make you crash.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Now let's go back to accidents. That are suspicious.
Dude, that code's been written in cars already.
If someone made like a future
time.
dystopian movie like that, you'd see the heroes all be driving muscle cars.
I believe they did make a movie like that.
They'd have to.
I feel like they did already.
Dude, speaking of which, did you look at that channel on YouTube? YouTube I showed you, Dust?
Yeah.
Bro.
It's really cool.
I don't know. You guys would probably like it. You guys like Black Mirror, right? Do you guys like Black Mirror?
Yeah, I like
that
it.
kind of stuff?
Yeah, I didn't watch all of them, but
It's very
there's some
interesting
of them
sci-fi.
It's like one of the best YouTube channels I've ever found. Like there's sci-fi shorts, but they're also really good stories. Some of them are better than others. Some of them are really good.
That's like Black Mirror. I feel like Black Mirror is like hit and miss.
Yeah, but there's it's like all these really well produced like sci-fi.
Are they like? Is that what it
original
is? Like
concepts,
short
it's
versions
cool.
of Black Mirror? That sounds like it.
They're like 8 to 20 minute short films, and they're all kind of sci-fi based. Or
And I wish some of them were like full-fledged movies, dude. Like,
Which
they
ones
a
did you
good job.
watch?
I'm trying to remember the one that I don't know the names of it.
Did you watch Immortal?
Remind me.
I'll give this one away.
Yeah,
it's really I think 9 minutes long. But this dude eventually, this guy figures out how to become immortal somehow. So he figures out how to become immortal. And so, and it really explores like what would the real challenges be with becoming immortal, right? So it shows him at first he's like he can never die. It's cool. Then it shows him living through, continuing to live as Earth continues to change. And there's like an uprising of machines. They can't kill him, so he's still alive. Then there's a new civilization. Then there's another civilization.
Oh, wow. I gotta watch that
He's
one.
married. He loves his wife, but then he watches her slowly die. She's dead. Then eventually he lives until the sun expands and destroys the Earth, and he's just in space, lonely by himself.
Oh my
immortal.
God,
And you
dude.
watch, you're like, oh my God, this sucks, dude.
It's
depressing.
It was so good though. So like,
You know, as a kid, that's like one of the probably as an adult, if I still mess with myself and sit down and think about it, the thought of eternity is more scary than dying.
oh yeah,
Just the thought of existing for that
be
long.
like everybody dying around you and stuff like that.
Just period. Even if it's not on Earth, even if it was like in space or heaven or another place, the thought like my brain can't fathom
no.
what this ongoing forever because you logically I go like forever means I would check the box on everything that's capable of doing and then
Right.
what and it's like that sounds really like
Yeah, how long are you gonna be good?
Yeah.
You know, like at some point you just turn into a freaking supervillain. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. But as a kid, it used to really trip me out.
Dude, watching that, I did not expect that. I did not expect them to show him live until this. You know what they say: the sun's supposed to expand. Eventually, it destroys Earth and it contracts.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there in space, dude, by himself. Like, oh, this sucks, dude. This is the end.
Did you ever go watch
Brutal.
the movie our buddy released? We had it on the show, the interview we did. I cannot for the life.
Yes,
of me.
I did.
You did go watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It was the theory. The
Theory of everything?
Was it the theory of everything? Maybe you could double check and look at that.
You did go see it.
Steve Meyer.
Meyer. It was so good.
Oh,
Yeah, I talked about it. I think on the show. So
I know you talked about you were going to go do it.
No, I didn't watch it. It was really
I
good.
missed it in the theaters.
It was really good when they. Really,
Can we watch it on streaming now? Is it?
I don't
possible?
know. I hope if you can, you guys got to check it out.
gotta check
yeah,
it
the
out.
theory
I
of
think
everything.
no, that's actually that.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't that one. It's,
No, the
it's
story.
I'll have to look it
Look
up.
up
here.
Stephen Meyer, Doug.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
type
just
in
Stephen Meyer new movie. It'll pop up.
Yeah, just look up Stephen Meyer.
Oh, I did go see a movie last week. It was kind of funny because we were gonna watch Obsession, which is like this like thriller, scary movie, and I heard really good things about it. And like it was supposed to be at 4:55, and we got there, and apparently it was at 4:15, and my friend hadn't showed up yet. So we were like,
Yeah, the theory of everything.
You sure, Doug? That's
Theory?
the new one.
Well, that's what it says here.
All you have to do, Doug.
April
is-
20. No, you don't see it.
yeah.
It's
okay.
Stephen Meyer's. Theory of everything. April 30th.
I'm listening,
this year.
Justin.
anyways,
I'm listening.
It's the story
I'm listening to your
of
story,
everything.
Okay,
Justin.
I'll
Story
talk to you.
of
Anyways,
everything.
we're gonna have a side
Go ahead,
conversation.
Justin.
Yeah. So, anyways, we thought it'd be funny. This is really like one of those jokes that like you have to painfully sit through because you made the decision to do it. You know, because you thought, oh, this is gonna be so funny, dude. This is gonna be
And now you're waiting.
great.
You're waiting. You're committed.
Now you're committed. So, we're buying the tickets and the guy's like, oh no, we missed it. It was at 4:15. And so we're like, oh well, crap! Like, what are we gonna do? Well, what's playing right now? 4:55, and so the only thing that was playing was Scary Movie, the new one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Was it good?
no, it was awful. But so my friend comes in, and we just like give him the tickets. We go sit down. We don't tell him anything. Like he still thinks we're watching this movie.
Oh, God.
And we're just gonna wait to see like when it like starts
When
to
it hit, when it clicks.
Oh my god, dude! The opening of Scary Movie. It's like this lady that's like it's very animated, and it's like I don't even know who it is. I guess it's somebody famous like you know, like actress or whatever. And it's just like, it's very like, how do we say this? Like, not white humor. It's very, and he's just like, what are we watching? You know? And like the whole movie was like, it was great. They literally like were trying to like push white people out. They're like, yeah, this isn't for you. You know, and we're just sitting in there. And I just started laughing at like really like random parts that are like making fun of white people. Like, you know, just to have fun with it. But dude, it was so awkward.
How long did it take you before he?
It took a good like 20 minutes.
Oh my God, he was in it that long
he was
before
still
he
trying to
realized.
figure it out. That was the whole joke. And so we had to like sit there, and then now we're watching this stupid movie. There's some funny parts, but it was really just
Look
dumb.
up. I saw a thing on this. What is the scary movie franchise worth? The amount of money that they've been able to make piggybacking off of
I
all
thought
these.
there was only 3. There's like 7.
There's a bunch. Yeah, there's a
like
bunch
the
of them.
The
7th,
first one
I
was
think.
hilarious.
That was funny. Yeah, like the first 2 to 3 were
pretty
hilarious.
Well, they did a good job of mocking all these popular scary movies back then, and
Yeah,
they,
it's
and-
worth over $1 billion.
bro, $1 billion, and literally no original ideas. You're just mocking all these.
Yeah.
it's just a complete.
All the franchises.
Yes, it's a complete spoof of it. Yeah,
You know,
and
what, you know what movie I'm going to be watching soon?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Obsession at the theaters?
That's what I just was talking about.
Is that the one you were going to watch?
Yeah.
No, hold on. But you didn't watch it, did you?
No. That's what we were playing on.
I wasn't paying
Hey, bro, it
attention.
just
That's gonna
shows you how much
help.
you. Well, the best part about that was I was telling Justin, like, I'm listening to your story because you were
wasn't listening to the
You and
beginning,
Doug
but I
were
caught on.
obviously not listening to what
I
Justin.
caught on.
Justin was in the middle of a story about
okay.
obsession.
Hey, listen. But you didn't watch it, did you?
No,
You know,
I
that's
wanted
so-
to. My
hey,
son watched it. Actually.
That's so you
I was
right
like,
there, dog. That's
Hey,
so you.
listen,
right
I was trying to find the right
Like,
movie.
he's the one that was selling
Because
it
I was
to me.
watching Doug's horrible Google, and he was like Googling the name with the like, dude, that's not how you look it up.
Doug
Anyway.
catching strays now.
Oh man! All right. Anyway, it's Obsession is this It was a low cost, scary movie, basically. A horror movie.
like independent.
Those
film.
always end up doing well.
And it's crushing.
Those do.
It is crushing.
For some reason that genre
Look at Rotten
crushes.
Tomatoes, 95%.
It was like it was making as much money as Mandalorian and Grogu.
Don't
And
you
they
guys
put
remember?
It was like what?
Would you guys say that who really kicked that off was what was the one that got?
Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were the ones that made like low budget horror like super popular to do it that way. Like, is it because it feels kind of like what why we see this trend in social media right now of like this going back to just holding your phone and doing ads.
Yeah.
People
Low
want this
production.
authentic, feel real.
Well, I don't
and
know-
I think something about horror.
Music is the same right now, and I'm getting a lot of intel with that. It's really interesting. Garage bands are like way on the rise.
Right, so people don't want to see overly produced horror. What's scary to me is like this feels real, and that's what Blair.
Right.
Remember Blair Witch? People thought
Witch was
that was like a real that really happened.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that really happened,
They
and they just-
captured video of like this witch and
So I
ghosts.
think Blair, and we'll look it up. I think Blair Witch Project had the greatest like revenue to cost of any movie ever.
I believe it was.
But, but so
In its time, at
Obsession
least.
cost them $1 million to make Obsession. It's already grossed over $250 million. So $1 million. Now I don't think it's filmed. I don't think it's filmed in the same way. I saw the trailer. I think it's just low budget because they don't have any star actors, and I don't think there's lots of crazy special effects.
So it's all about the story, which again,
all about the story.
I wish they would pick up on that. It needs to have a legit story. I don't care about all this.
Well, you know the
extra
reason.
shit.
So I've
Wow.
what is it? Let me see.
Blair Witch Project had an initial production budget of $35,000 to $60,000, which increased to $207.50 once post. Oh, okay. So $200,000 to $700,000.
Oh, once for
and it made
post-production.
$248 million.
Back then,
Wow.
that's back then.
But the principal photography, $35,000. Now this was back in when was this made? It was in the
90s,
right?
something. Yeah,
maybe early 2000s, like 01 maybe or something. like that, I would say.
maybe past. the 90s.
But Obsession, you know what the story is about Obsession, right? This dude,
You know I don't watch any of that shit.
This dude, well, I'm not going to give. I mean, the trailer shows us. This dude likes this girl. He's totally like infatuated with her, and he makes a wish somehow. He gets this thing, makes a wish that he wants her to love him.
Yeah.
But then it turns into her being like super obsessed. with him.
99.
Yeah,
Wow.
Blair Witch was 99.
You know, Justin, to your point that you brought up, there's a reason. I mean, obviously you probably know the reason, but like I've read up on that before. Like we lose this like originality of like risk of like storytelling because there's such a an easy formula for success.
Yeah.
Because there's so
There's a
many
full business around it.
Yeah, Scary Movie's a perfect-
predictability.
Scary Movie's a perfect example of that. It's like there's a built-in cult following already that you could throw garbage out there, and as long as a percentage of that cult goes and sees it one time, you already make your money back. Where coming up with a new idea is 100% risk, and I think the success rate is so small.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of risk.
You know what's interesting? Of all the genres of movies, I think the most successful genre where you see the formula of low cost to high revenue is horror.
Well, yeah, but don't you think it's for the reason what I was saying earlier? It's because you don't want something overly produced for horror. Because if it's overly produced, it makes it even more fake. Where if it feels kind of gritty and like low budget, it feels more real.
I don't know if that's necessarily true because some of the highest producing horror movies were highly produced, like The Shining, or I think what it has to do more with is the story.
Was The Shining highly produced?
It was
a major Hollywood production.
It was a major production. Really, it's the story. I think when we look at horror, we get caught up with the gore or the special effects or the stuff jumps at you. It makes you scared. But it's really think about the scariest movies you ever watched. It was all about the story. It was just really, really good storytelling. Blair Witch Project, as wild as it is actually a really interesting story as you're following.
I actually couldn't watch it because it made me sick.
A lot of the
first person camera
angles.
It's because I got scared. That probably didn't. I'm sure that played a little bit of a role too.
When you watch this, because I know you're like a big wuss with this. When you watch scary movies,
I don't watch scary movies. But if I were to,
let's say
I've watched a handful.
Okay, let's say all of us together go and watch Obsession or something like that. You're covering your face?
I'll watch it like this.
No, you're not. Shut up, bro. For real?
Yeah.
No, you're not, dude. No, you're not. I swear to God. Listen,
white knuckling.
How does it affect you? Like, tell me, like, how does it affect you? Why do you hate it so much?
I get anxious, and I don't like that. Like, I want that when I ride a roller coaster in the middle of the day. Okay.
Okay.
That's like, I like that anxious. I like to be scared in the middle of the day in the sun on the beach, riding a ride and go like, this is great. And my adrenaline's going and I'm hyped for the day. 8 o'clock at night when I'm eating popcorn with my wife, I do not want that feeling.
Okay.
There's nothing about that.
What happens after the movie's over? You can't sleep?
I haven't watched enough to connect patterns, but it's not, I don't feel good going to bed after that. Like, I'm not a person who could watch a horror film and go right to sleep.
Do you guys want to
I'm more like my wife. Katrina and I don't both. That's one of the things that was connected us. Like, she's like anti-scary. She can't even watch an action-packed movie and go to sleep. She's got to watch something like really, like, I can at least do that. But boy, if it's a thriller or on the scary side, it's like, yeah.
So I don't like scary movies like I used to because if they get too demonic, I don't like them anymore because now, obviously I'm different now. But when I was young, I could watch the most demented, twisted thing, go right to bed. No, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I can only take it like the slasher movies. Those are still fun.
Some of them are Rob Zombies were too much though.
Dude,
it's not because they were too scary. It was just it was just excessive.
It was just too much.
Yeah, see, I really don't like gore.
Bro,
like really gory, over the top stuff like that. There's some stuff that I liked Sixth Sense. I watched the first 2 Saws.
Saw? Oh.
Yeah, there's certain things but that I thought that the storyline and the whole idea.
Did you guys know that scary movies can induce physical arousal in women? Did you guys know this?
Yeah.
Google this. Make sure I'm telling the truth.
You've talked about this before.
I have, but I want to make sure I'm right.
Motivation,
and I just make this up right now
for dates.
That I think it can induce physical signs of arousal in women.
I mean, is it what is the thing that that it's doing? Is it
Look at this.
Anxiety and excitement.
Scary movies can induce physical arousal in women. This happens because it's physiological signs of fear closely mirror those of sexual excitement. Scroll down, Doug. See what else is happening here.
Scroll down, but slowly.
It's sort of. I watch a scary movie with my wife. Yeah, blood flow redirection. Blood pumps to your extremities and genitals.
Oh,
this doesn't happen for men.
Yeah.
This doesn't Doug, look up if this happens to guys.
No.
Because I don't think it does.
No way.
But then you add into this, I remember I read an article about this. You take a girl to a scary movie, she gets scared, physical arousal, but she's not aroused. It's different. Physical arousal and actually being aroused is
I wonder if they don't realize it's happening because also too their obsession with serial killers.
But then what happens is then she's with a guy who then makes her feel safe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was like a go-to formula, right?
It says it can happen to dudes too. It's called scarousal.
I feel like if that happened to me, I would like it. I feel like if that did happen to me, I would like it.
I know you're scared right now, but you got a boner.
Yeah.
Something weird.
So if that happened, I'd be like, okay, I can get into this, but no, it's not like that for me. I get all the anxiety, the sexual
I
stuff.
have never been aroused from a scary movie, so that's definitely not true for me.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't know. I have always had groups of buddies that are into them that want to.
Where's this going?
I've now left your sexual mindset.
No, that's weird because my buddies just watch scary movies together.
No, I've always got buddies that want. They swear that I haven't watched the right one. You got to introduce me to this one or what that, and everybody's so.
I want to watch a scary movie with you. Only because I want to see what the anxiety and I just want to be there to watch that.
You want to see him just in torture.
I mean, I've done it enough times now that I would fake it well enough that I wouldn't give you the pleasure of seeing that.
It's the same pleasure you guys get when you guys watch me try and do something athletic, where you guys watch me for the side and laugh. I hear you guys laughing.
Pretty true.
Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Look at him move the way he does.
You'd be like taking me to a bodybuilder show or something.
No, we did.
Yeah,
when I went to Adam's show.
I know, and I was squirming the whole time.
We should have.
I know that guy, but
we didn't get enough. We didn't get enough footage of him.
You should have had him go backstage. You know how uncomfortable he would
I had him be the one to rub the
dudes putting oil on each other.
Hey, bro, could you oil me up? Come on, dog.
You're my boy.
You're my tan guy.
This is for the business, bro.
I can't reach my glutes.
Come on, tan boy.
We got to grow this podcast business. Nobody's listening to us yet. Come on,
paint them cheeks.
No,
I don't want to.
One of the most important components when it comes to fat loss, muscle gain, health, hormone health, it's sleep. If you get better sleep, everything gets better. In fact, studies show poor sleep makes it much more difficult to burn body fat and definitely more difficult to build muscle. And you want to throw your hormones off, have suboptimal sleep. Look, there's a company called 8 Sleep that makes a device that goes over your bed, and it warms or cools your bed, and it uses AI technology to change on the fly to maximize your sleep. Here's what people report when they use the 8 Sleep. They have lowered resting heart rate on average by 2.3 beats per minute. They have better heart rate variability scores, 13% on average. Up to 34% have more deep sleep, and up to 60% have more REM sleep. That's that restorative sleep. You guys, this makes a huge difference. It's not chemical. It's not a supplement. It's not a drug. It literally just changes the temperature of your bed and adjusts itself to your sleep. It individualizes itself so you get better sleep. If you go to 8sleep.com, that's EIGHT, sleep.com/Mind Pump, and use the code Mind Pump, you get a massive discount on the Pod 5 Ultra. By the way, you may qualify for a medical expense. If you have a health savings account or flexible savings account, on average, people save 30%. To see if you're eligible, go to truemed.com/8sleep. That's truemed.com/EIGHT sleep. Go see if you're eligible, get that discount. Back to the show.
Our first caller is Carrie from Utah.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'm kind of nervous. So I've been listening to you guys for a very long time. So
Awesome.
Kind of fangirling over here. So I will just start by reading my email, and then I do have an update since this mail was sent a little over 30 days ago.
Okay.
So,
All right.
It says, hi, Mind Pump team. I'm a 45-year-old mom of 5 who lives with Hashimoto's. I finally was making real progress with strength training, and after a year of trauma, survival, and rebuilding my life, I've gained 35 pounds, despite being physically active every day, and I feel completely lost in my body. I started listening to you guys back in 2018, but it took me until 2023 to let go of cardio and start actually lifting. I ran MAPS Anabolic and transitioned to MAPS Strongs, but my body couldn't handle it at the time, high stress, joint pain, and poor recovery, and I stopped. In March of 2024, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, anemia, and low cortisol. I was exhausted, gaining weight, barely functioning. I worked with a functional medicine doctor for about 8 months, focusing on stress, sleep, gut health, and slowly rebuilding my tolerance to exercise. Eventually, I was cleared to lift again, and I ran MAP Symmetry for the first time ever. I saw real results. I lost 7 pounds. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry. I lost 7 pounds of body fat and gained 5 pounds of lean muscle.
Hell yeah.
I finally felt like I was doing it right. Then my life fell apart. In February of 2025, I left an emotionally abusive, sometimes physical relationship and went into full survival mode. I lost everything financially and had to rebuild from scratch. and I stopped training. Shortly after I started a sedentary job, I started my own cleaning business in August of 2025. I now clean 1 to 2 houses per day and physically active. But since May 2025, I've gained 35 pounds. That's what's confusing me the most. I'm not sedentary. I move all day, but I feel softer, weaker, inflamed, and further away from myself than ever. Recent labs show my testosterone had dropped significantly. I had to stop therapy due to cost, and my ferritin is low again. Nutrition is a big challenge. I don't feel hungry during the day. And because I'm constantly on the go without access to refrigeration or heating, I rely on quick options like drinkable yogurts, fruit, and snacks. I eat a solid dinner, but I suspect I'm under eating protein and possibly under fueling overall. Recently, I've also started waking up in the middle of the night starving. I'm not lifting right now because I feel exhausted, weak, and unsure of how to fuel properly with my current lifestyle. I feel stuck. I've done a lot of emotional healing, but my body feels like it's going in the opposite direction. And most of my life, I haven't struggled with weight. So my questions are, how should I approach training with Hashimoto's, low ferritin, hormone changes, and physical demanding job? Is it possible that I'm underfueling in ways that are contributing to my weight gain? How do I rebuild strength, body composition without pushing myself back into burnout? Thank you for everything you guys do. Your podcast has completely changed how I view fitness. And then here's my update. Since sending the email, I've gotten a much clearer picture through comprehensive labs and a DEXA scan. My DEXA scan shows that my RMR is only 1,320 calories. My visceral fat nearly tripled in 14 months. And my body went from 32% body fat to 40%. The fat distribution is centralized, trunk and midsection, which looks mostly like a cortisol-driven pattern. But what's interesting is my cortisol looks reasonable. My AM cortisol was 26.5 5 days after leaving that abusive relationship. Acute stress makes complete sense. It came down to 13.1 by September of 2025. And my most recent reading is 15.1, which my functional medical practitioner says is actually the best it's been in years. So chronically elevated cortisol doesn't fully explain the visceral fat accumulation. The fat distribution pattern looks more like a cortisol pattern on the DEXA, but my morning cortisol looks fine. Here's what's most frustrating. I identified the underfueling issue and I corrected it. I increased my calories to 2,000 to 2,200 on lighter cleaning days and to 2,600 on heavy days. I'm tracking consistently and hitting 130 to 150 grams of protein daily, and I'm still gaining. The DEXA does show a small lean tissue increase in 14 months from 14 months ago, but I started creatine about 6 weeks ago. So it's likely water and glycogen in the muscles rather than new muscle tissue. Lab shows my estradiol dropped 68% and my progesterone dropped 92% at match cycle phases over 13 months. My thyroid dose was reduced in October, which caused a downstream across multiple markers, including free T3, total T3, cholesterol jumping 48 points, and my hemoglobin trending down. I have since started TRT, progesterone, and iron bicarbonate supplementation, and I got a thyroid dose increase. But I'm only a few weeks into that, so nothing has had time to fully take effect. So my question is now, given the suppressed RMR, centralized visceral fat accumulation, hormones in the process of being corrected, physical demanding job, burning calories a day, what should I be doing with my nutrition and training right now to stop the bleeding and start moving in the right direction?
Yeah. Thanks for calling in. Wow. I appreciate that. So you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And it's very reasonable. It's extremely reasonable that going through what you've been through and with 5 kids and trying to support everybody on your own and what you described about the relationship that you kind of came out of, it's very reasonable that it would be reflected in things like how you feel, body fat gain, not being able to exercise because you're exhausted, all that stuff. Like that's actually expected going through what you went through. Carrie, what does taking care of yourself or what does caring for yourself right now look like?
Right now, what I do is I make sure I get good sleep. So I'm sleeping 7.5 to 8.5 hours every night. I have an Oura Ring, so I track, so I know I'm getting good sleep. Good. I'm supplementing at night with glycine and
magnesium.
And then I'm taking progesterone at night, which also is like I'm on 200 milligrams, so kind of like a mild sedative. So It really helps me like get into sleep. So I'm sleeping really good. So my recovery feels really good. It's just, I think some days I'm 6 to 9 hours of straight cleaning all day long, nonstop. So that's where it's getting hard is there's no break in between sometimes just to keep going. So I tried to get that rest at night, lights off, blue light blocking glasses, 8 o'clock, which I've done for years. So low lights, just relaxation at night just to recover.
That's really good. And you're doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I hear your frustration. Are you giving yourself grace?
Yes, I journal a lot. So I have a stack of journals back there that, I'm pouring into like where I'm feeling frustrated, where I'm feeling stuck, and just understanding, this is just a season of life.
Wonderful.
But yeah, it's still, I still want to make forward progress when, everything I'm doing feels like I'm just either stuck or I'm going backwards.
No,
so.
I get it. Okay. So you're doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
And what it's going to look like, which is what you're doing, is going to be caring for yourself in ways that improve the quality of your life and your health. And so sleep is the first place I would go. You're active, so you're already moving a lot. You're fueling yourself better, which would be the next place I would go. And then the next place I would go would be adding some strength training when appropriate. And it might look like very little.
And she's also just now getting like her hormones really balanced too. So you're really with your thyroid and getting that all aligned. Like it hasn't even been that long. So that's all the next place too.
It is. And so you're in the beginning. So what it feels like to me, and I feel pretty confident in this. I could be wrong, but I feel pretty confident that you're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So you've been going through this dark tunnel and you're like, okay, I think I see some light at the end and I'm moving in that direction. In other words, this season looks like it's starting to improve. You're starting to come out of it. Would you say that that's true?
Yes, I'm actually going to be transitioning out of cleaning all day just because of the amount of load on my body. It feels like, it's not sustainable, especially with my Hashimoto's.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on slowly launching another business that is not physically demanding.
Yeah.
So then I can transition out of one business into this other one. So that, like I said, it will give me, so there won't be so much physical stress.
Yeah, you're tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, you're tough.
Sure. Super resilient.
How old are your kids?
My oldest is 25 and my youngest is 6.
Yeah, you're a badass.
Yep.
Can I do something for you?
Sure.
Okay, I think you're managing a lot. How would you feel about not having to manage some of this and allowing us to give you some free coaching?
Now you're really going to make me cry. I would love that.
Okay, I'm going to give you a couple months with one of our coaches. And I don't want you to worry about some of this. You let the coach handle it and you just do what they say. So you don't have to think about all this stuff. And they're going to walk you through nutrition, and they're also going to be able to
modify the program,
give you exercise recommendations and modify them, because at this point right here, Carrie, what it's going to look like is a little bit of like dipping your toe in the water, seeing how you react. That's too much, not enough. Okay, let's bump it up or let's pull back. And we're going to have to go through that process for a little while your body heals. Because I have a good idea of where I'd want to start you, but I'd also want to see how your body reacts and how you feel through the process so we could change it. And the only way we could do that is if we have somebody work with you through this.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay. I'm going to have somebody call you today, and we're going to give you 60 days of coaching, and they're going to work with you through this process.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. It's something that's been really challenging.
No, I hear you.
I've always been really strong. I've never had to actually lift because I just have always been, everyone's always like, you're so strong. You don't, so like the only time I ever did cardio was like, oh, I want to look a little better for XYZ, so I'd do a little bit of cardio and I would be just fine. And I would just go back to living. I've just always been active. So this is where it's really frustrating, is to feel so weak all the time, you know?
Well, of course. You kidding me? You're running a business. You got 5 kids. You're doing this on your own.
You left an abusive relationship. You have Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're actually
taking it all on. Yeah.
not a lot of people could handle half of that.
Yeah.
You're pretty damn tough, and that's why I want to take some of this load off of you in the ways that we can, which would be the coaching part of it. And if it's okay with you, Carrie, I'd love to hop on some of those calls with you when you get with the coach, if that's all right.
Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you.
Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to set you up with a coach, and then we'll see what happens. I'll hop on a couple of those calls, but I tell you what, I'm very hopeful because you actually are doing all the right. Like you're already moving in the right direction.
Yep.
You're tackling the right stuff that needs to be tackled first. There's really not much I can add other than let's start. Let's take some of this load off you.
New path here. Yeah,
That's it.
Hang in there.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much.
strong.
You got it.
Very strong.
we got good coaches. You'll be working with somebody good.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your help.
You got
All
it,
right,
Carrie.
Carrie.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah.
gonna start out the gates with an emotional one right away.
Here we go. Strap in.
Oh,
Well,
dude, can you imagine?
hey, 5 kids.
5 kids,
Hashimoto's.
Hashimoto's, 45,
Crappy relationship.
hormonal changes, abusive relationship,
And start a business.
starting a cleaning business,
And then another business.
Another one to get out of the clean
Yeah.
business. Yeah.
The last thing that she needs is to try to manage
What a
more
champion.
stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm hoping that this takes some of that load off. And also, here's the deal, just for people listening right now, I have a good idea of what I think she should do. But I also know, considering all the variables,
Oh, yeah.
probably going to have to change
Oh,
it
yeah, that's
like
got-
4 times
that you could-
in
you could,
30
of
days.
course, call an audible
Just the
multiple
stress.
times.
It's going to be impossible.
Managing is going to be
Yeah,
tough.
dude, there's so much stuff going on. I mean,
You know, I didn't get a chance to tell her this, but to go from, I'm assuming that she was under 2,000 calories
yeah,
to 2,400 to 2,600 calories.
and have a little bit of water weight gain.
Is
great.
actually a huge win.
Yep.
And focusing on sleep like she is. And so one of the hardest things when you get a client that's gone through all this, is battling all this, is weight, fat loss and muscle building is a long process when you're healthy and everything is perfect.
When you're hyper stressed,
when everything is perfect, this process is still slow.
that's right.
When you got all of this that you're tackling at the same time, boy, it just feels like you're not moving, but you are. And it's understanding that to be able to increase your calories like that, and also get rid of what she was doing before. We didn't even mention too all the cardio. Sounds like she was doing excessive cardio before and overtraining her body and under eating. And so, man, it's going to take a minute for the body to feel safe enough to do what you want it to do for you.
That's right.
Our next caller is Kyle from British Columbia.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Damn, Kyle, you look jacked now.
That's right.
How's it going? How's it going?
Good. Nice to see you guys again. Thanks for taking my follow-up call here.
You got it, dude. Give us an update.
Alrighty. So just to briefly recap, first of all, it was a great timing to have this call with you guys previously because I went through quite a good journey this time. You guys sent me on quite a trail. So it was awesome. So essentially when I called in last time, I had been kind of weight training for about a year on the split. And then I managed to gain 10 pounds in that first year, but I still really wasn't sure what I was doing. I was looking for a good plan and I was feeling tired and just kind of hit a plateau. So you guys sent me on a path to eat 200 grams of protein and a day and then train the anabolic program. So it was great. I'll just start with there. It was quite a change for me. And my journey started with quite a rude awakening, actually. So my first goal was to gain as much strength as possible during this time. So I was definitely going to be eating a lot more, lower volume based on the split and stuff like that. So I just really wanted to focus on strength, as you guys mentioned. And I was actually out of town for a week during some work stuff. And then the last day of the week, I went to a gym because I was just doing some dumbbell hotel stuff during the time. I was like, I'm gonna go push some weights. And before, like at home, I'm using just plates on more like a lever. I got like a little lever system thing. Okay. So I was never really free weighting. And I had all my numbers in my mind based on that. And I went to the gym, I loaded up the bar, and I was like, all right, I got these mad numbers. I'm doing good. And I could barely move the bar. I was like, this is terrible. I was like, I had to stop. I had to stop, de-rack, and I just felt so defeated. So I got home, and this was the beginning of the anabolic journey. And I traded in. I just got a basic rack, and I've been just upping my numbers on that. So now I've got some, more calculative measures. But anyways, I'll start with how the diet worked so far based on upping the protein. And then I'll get to the strength and numbers and the training and stuff like that. So I'll sprinkle in some questions because I had to do a couple modifications along the way just for my lifestyle. And I took your guys' advice from the podcast to try to make the best decisions. So I'd love to have your real-time feedback on that just to see if I'm doing well and if I can make any better changes. But so essentially diet-wise, the 200-gram goal was definitely an up for me. My digestive system was having a hard time with that volume at first. The first 2 weeks, I was like trying to figure out how I can get the protein, but stop burping all day kind of thing, get those digestive juices going. I don't know. So I've worked my way up now to about 180 grams a day. That seems to be doing well so far. I'm still trying to get up there, but to get these numbers and to digest well, I guess, without lack of better terms, I've had to utilize protein powder, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, those things I could more get the numbers higher. I've even been adding some just liquid egg whites to my eggs to try to boost those numbers too. And I know you guys always say like stick to whole foods as much as possible, and I wasn't sure if adding those to rely on is still in that whole foods category, or if it's kind of like a crutch right now for me, or if it will eventually get easier to digest more non-protein powder type stuff. So that was my first one.
All right, let's start there, Kyle, before we get to the other one. So let's talk a little about. So what were your calories at? And go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I wasn't actually tracking calories. I was just tracking protein grams. I just had like a protein gram number kind of going on throughout the day.
Okay.
But if you suggest I can do that and see what that's like for the next week or so.
I'd like to see that, but also tell me about the rest of the meal. Were you having vegetables, starches? Is there fiber?
Gotcha. Yeah, so essentially like for breakfast, I would have some boiled eggs and then a little bowl of some Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein. Like I can easily get 50 grams doing that for breakfast. And then lunch would be some veggies and then some egg whites scrambled with another probably a few eggs in there. Actually, lunch is kind of variable because it's usually like leftover dinner from the last night. I just pour some egg whites in there to try to boost it up with some veggies on the side type thing. Dinner is usually meat and rice and whatever veggies my wife is making type deal.
So you're having carbohydrates once a day?
Oh, actually, I do eat fruit throughout the day as well. So I'm having like apples. I usually have rice with lunch as well. And then I have some beans mixed in there as well.
Okay. So sometimes when you increase your protein, you will notice slower digestion, or it'll be difficult to kind of break it down. There's a couple things you could do with that. One is you can introduce digestive enzymes with your meal. So there are digestive enzymes for protein. And then you can also use what's called psyllium husk. This is a fiber that you take after you're done eating to help with motility. There is a bit of an adjustment period when you bump protein sometimes. So I've had this with clients sometimes where some clients you bump protein, food intake, no problem. Other times people are like, oh my God, I kind of feel like things aren't moving really well. And those two things almost always make a difference. So I think that'll help a lot. I'd also like to kind of get an idea of what your calories at, but I think it's okay to fall at 80 grams of protein. I think that's okay.
That's good. Kyle, give me an example. What was dinner last night? What did you have for dinner last night?
Dinner last night was actually, I went to my parents' place. They invited us over. So, but we had like a big pork shoulder and some.
Well, give me the last time you made dinner. What was it? What are you normally making dinner? Give me an idea what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. When we had dinner, mostly because the kids eat ground meat, we always have ground meat for like our meat base. So it's usually ground meat with some mixed veggies in there. And then rice is always, it's either like mixed with the rice or the rice on the side.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
that's basically our 90% of the time dinner.
Okay, I love that. I mean, can I make a suggestion based off of the meal choices that you're kind of doing? Like, have you tried to cook 4X that in a night?
No, I have not.
Okay, so cook 4X that. So instead of cooking, I'm imagining you and your family are probably having 1 to 2 pounds of meat. Cook 4 or 5 pounds of ground beef and cook double to triple the rice. And that now becomes breakfast and or lunch the next day. And that exact meal, ground beef, rice with 2 or 3 eggs on it is amazing breakfast bowl. I absolutely love to have. And then have that for lunch the next day. And then also in the middle, you can have that Greek yogurt and fruit and snack like that. Like that's a beautiful day right there of that what you have for dinner now carries over to breakfast with a few eggs cracked over the top of it and lunch. In between those meals, Greek yogurt or cottage cheese with your favorite fruit. Like and I bet that'll sit really well on you. You won't need to have to just keep pumping egg whites into everything you do and enjoy it. And I mean, if you want some cheese, throw some cheese on there to bump the calories. That would be my suggestion. You're already making dinner like that. try making it in a larger bulk so it carries you over another day or two of meals.
But yeah, as far as the digestion is concerned, when you radically increase a macro, sometimes your body's it takes time to produce more of the enzymes that break those down. And so digestive enzymes can help a lot. And then the psyllium husk it's a non-soluble fiber. It just gets things moving through the body and typically helps with all of that. Did you notice any increases in energy through the bumping of calories?
To be honest, yes. The first 2 weeks, not so much, but around like week 3, 4, there was a bit of an increase. But honestly, the last 2 to 3 weeks for me has been significant. Like it just like a switch happened. I don't really know. Like it was kind of like a little bit, but then all of a sudden it's been quite a bit more. So it just, the last few weeks have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're on the right track then. Tell us about the workouts. Tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, so the workouts have been fun. I really enjoy it. I've never done a full body routine before. And so that was great. However, this is my biggest modification. I stuck with the full body the first 2.5, I'd say 3 weeks. But then I did notice, like, because I like to rest a bit longer in between, I was getting up to like an hour, like over an hour, and then my mornings are a bit tight. And I don't like to feel like rushed in between. So what I ended up doing was the full body. I was listening to your podcast, and then you're always talking about like keep the volume the same. I know you're talking a lot about like the 15-minute workouts and stuff. So anyways, I tried to implement that into what I'm doing. So I said, okay, to avoid this rush and get my breaks in between, I took all the upper body exercises. I did that on the Monday, and then I took all the lower body exercises, and I did that on the Tuesday.
That's fine.
Yeah, great. That's great. That's a perfect way to split. That's how we tell people to split MAPS anabolic if you want to cut the workout in half.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So, so that's what I did. Because of that, I haven't been doing the trigger sessions just because there's that other workout the following day, but it has been consistently going through that. And that's been, I've been enjoying that. And the time has been working out great. I don't feel rushed. I can take my breaks in between and push those weights as I go. And honestly, in terms of so far, like throughout this program here, I have gained about 4 kilos, which is pretty good.
That's awesome.
I was pretty surprised. I actually didn't weigh myself for my son. He's in there. He weighs himself because he's still super young. And he's like, oh, I gained at like 0.2 today or whatever, But he's like, so how much are you? I was like, I'm not weighing myself yet. I got to wait at least a month or whatever. And then we did that. But as of today, or not today, like last time I weighed myself, which was within the last week or so, it's like 4 kilos more.
Wow.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I was pretty.
And your strength? How's your strength?
How's the strength? How's the
so I wrote down my numbers. I got my numbers. So I was having a good time with this. And it honestly felt like throughout the anabolic, every other workout, it's like, oh, maybe I'll add another, like put those 2.5s on there for this last one or go up another 5 or whatever. But then I was kind of finding my sweet spots. But anyways, my numbers for me, I'm happy because I've seen progression. I know there's a lot of people who can lift a ton more, but I'm happy because I've made progress. So my deadlifts, when I started, I was at just 140, but now I'm up to 175 doing like, nice. So that's a huge increase for me.
For anybody, buddy.
Awesome. Awesome. My bench. So this was the funniest part when I went to the gym. So anyways, on my lever weight machine there, I was at 170 and I went to the gym. I put that on there. I was going to die. So I had to just stop. And I was like, I don't want to kill myself. So I stopped. And then when I got back home with just the free bench, the free bar, took me a couple workouts to get the feel of it. So I was only doing 115. But now I'm up to 150 again. So that's significant for me. And I'm just like, I got the feel of it now. I'm used to it. I got the safety bars on there now. So I know I'm not, even if I dropped, I got confident doing that. I was like, sometimes I'll just drop it on the safety bars on the last one and then just rest and then put it back up. So I'm feeling good. So I got that. So my bench went from 115 to 150, real free weights now, which I'm pretty stoked. Squat, I've never done like a barbell. Never did barbell squats before, always just dumbbells. And I even had to rig up a backpack with an extra dumbbell just because I never had a bar and a rack before. So try to get the weights. But now with the barbell, my squat, I started at 135. I'm up to 185 now. So I'm feeling good with that. Now, this is my main problem. I've noticed strength gains overall. However, my shoulders are just that one part that's just kind of like stuck. And, like my overhead press is stayed at just like 70 pounds. However, my reps have doubled. So I've gone, my reps are up, but I have a hard time adding weight to it. And it seems like my shoulders are a bit laggy in terms of growth.
Dude, we're looking at your pictures right now for the first time. You have made,
Kyle,
incredible progress.
First off, your strength, this is 90 days. Is that how long it's been? Has it been 90 days?
February to April, yeah.
Okay. The strength gains you're describing in 90 days they're not ordinary.
Yeah.
They're actually remarkable.
Rapid.
Bro, your shoulders
I wouldn't
look
even
great,
advertise that as something you could expect. So you made tremendous strength gains in 90 days. And based off of your pictures and your strength, I would say you just gained muscle.
Well, that's all you gained was muscle.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Look at your weight, his waistline and his abs are still the same.
It's not, you're not just doing a good job, you're blowing it away.
Yeah. In fact, I know Sal asked for your calories, but
you're fine.
You are fine.
You're fine.
What you're doing, you're with your thing.
You're humming.
You're eating what you need to.
Yeah.
You put on good weight, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
You look
awesome.
great.
I think what the next thing to do would be to change your program, keep pushing the calories, add the digestive enzymes and the fiber so you can digest. Bro, you're crushing.
So I don't want to change. I want him to run anabolic again. He just now is getting used to free weights.
Yeah, that's fine.
You run
that's true.
Run anabolic another time and watch what happens your second round.
Yeah.
That's true.
Your second round of free
By
weight.
the way, if you're using the same weight on your shoulders, but you doubled the reps, you got way stronger.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't trip on that.
Wait till so this is another reason why I want you to do anabolic because you're familiar with it. Watch when you come back around and you run it a second time and pay attention to all your lifts in that phase.
Yeah.
So that's the true measure is like now that you're back to phase 1 of anabolic, what does my 5 rep squat look like? What is my 5 shoulder? And then watch how you feel and move that way.
And I'd push the protein up. Keep trying to get up to 200.
Yep.
Dude, this is like the results you got with strength and muscle would be exceptional if it was over a year.
Yeah. You look great.
Okay.
So you did that in 90 days.
Yeah, dude, you look good.
Yeah. Which tells me your body was like, I need this.
I was ready for it.
Keep fueling yourself. You're hungry, feed. Definitely. I'm definitely going to encourage you to feed. And I would take the advice I was giving you about more of those dinner meals like that. Like at least double it up and start doing that in there. Yeah. You're doing great, dude.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Like way more than good. You're crushing it.
Yeah, you're killing it. Very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a great time. Like, honestly, just like learning. I really like you guys talk about like learning the movements, like practicing. And I felt like I really got a good chance to practice the exercise because there's a whole new system, like just free weight barbells, learning that.
You were just warming up, let me tell you.
Yeah, you got
I can't wait to see 90 days later. I want you to send us check in with us again 90 days, send us some photos and updates on all your numbers.
Yeah, you got more crazy gains coming, dude.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear. Well, I appreciate that.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
We'll see you in 90 again, dude.
Yeah, right on.
All right, Kyle.
All right. Sorry, may I ask just one totally random question?
Let's go. Go for it.
Okay, so this was something I've been my wife's really starting to get into training too, and I've been helping her. And so recently, like I'm still teaching her. Like she actually did some measurements, and she said she checked in. Her strength has gone quite a bit up, and her measurements are the same. And based on what I know, it's like, oh, that's a great outcome.
That's
like
right.
you're obviously getting more muscle and all that stuff. However, one totally weird thing, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this with anyone before, but when we started upping her protein, we were focusing more on like dairy-based stuff, but she started getting migraines.
Okay.
And then we okay, that's the only thing we've changed. So we kind of dialed that back and our migraines have gone away, but she doesn't have any digestive issues with dairy. So I wasn't sure, but I'm not sure if that's
Could
ever
be.
come up.
Yeah, so food intolerances can look like digestive issues. They could look like skin issues. They could look like energy issues. They could look like pain, inflammation. Migraines are a very, very clear sign. If you reduce the dairy and the migraines went away. Stay away from dairy.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I just want to.
There's some good companies out there. Huel is one. Some of their like vegan powders and protein drinks and stuff like that she can use to supplement.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to know if you've heard of that and experienced that. So, perfect.
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah. Doing
all
good.
right.
Yeah.
Good job, brother.
Keep it up.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all the help.
All right,
got it. See, he gained 10 pounds.
Bro, when his picture came up, I went, "Oh, bro."
Hey, 10 pounds of muscle in 90 days. That's phenomenal.
Unreal. Yeah,
like he's building muscle
using that window
fast.
Yeah.
He's like, every workout I'm adding weight. Like, that's great.
Oh, I mean, so it sounds like, and I didn't remember hearing or noticing this the last time we talked to him. Or at least I don't remember. It sounds like he's coming off of like a whatchamacallit machine. Like a Bowflex. Yeah. Like a Bowflex type of machine.
I think that's what he was rocking.
And being introduced to.
now that he's on free weights.
Dude. That's why I wanted him to run anabolic.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You're right.
Yeah, that. His whole first round was just like, new. I bet you he spent the first 2 weeks of every phase feeling out the weight.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he only got one good week of like really
getting
shocking
for
like
him.
Watch when he comes back around.
Switch.
Watch,
I wouldn't be surprised if he gained another 5 pounds of muscle.
The only thing that will keep him from not is feeding.
Yeah,
he'll guaranteed he gains another 5 to I'll even say 10 if he pushes the calories.
Free weights for the win again.
If he fuels his body and eats. The way things are going right now, he's in newbie gains range right now. Guy who's never done free weights now doing free weights is a good example. I hope sounds like he's pretty diligent, so it's gonna be cool to see him in 90 days. Yeah.
Our next caller is Jai from Ohio.
What's up, Jai?
What's happening?
How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah, you got it, man. How can we help you?
All right, so here, let me just fire off this question because my laptop is dying here. But so yeah, my name's Jai Faraji. I'm currently a personal trainer locally here in Cincinnati, and also I'm trying to actually grow online as well. So I'm trying to take more of a hybrid approach. What I'm looking to do is improve my marketing and client retention and my overall business structure. So I have 3 questions for you guys. So if you're starting from scratch today, what would be your top strategies for consistently acquiring clients, and how would you structure your content to convert, not just get attention? Secondly, what systems and habits have you found most effective for improving client retention when motivation drops? And lastly, I've been exploring ideas like seeing Ask a Trainer booths and different workshops at local businesses and corporations. Also, another idea that I had in mind is I'm trying to maybe get like a program together, like maybe an 8-week program just to start, bring that idea to some different businesses here, like such as Procter & Gamble and TQL. Both of these companies have top-notch gyms over there. So I'm trying to, maybe get something going on over there, with their staff in order to obviously build my business locally and hopefully convert a lot of those people into one-on-one clients also. So like what I would like to know is how would you recommend structuring and marketing something like this so that it converts into paying clients? And are there any key materials or systems you guys suggest having in place? So I really appreciate everything that you guys put out. And I'm looking forward to hearing these answers.
Yeah, I mean, I love you. First of all, I love all the questions. There's a lot there. So let's go back to number 1 and just start right there. Okay. So when you're getting started right now, and this is like the number 1 thing that I talk to new coaches about, every hour you don't have a person in front of you is like a failed hour. I don't care if it's free or not. And since you're trying to build online and in person, I'll take either one. So it's like if I meet somebody and I have an opportunity to get a free hour with them in front of me versus me not training somebody, like that's so, and that not only is that important for reps for you. Okay, so like this part of this process when you're building is the educational process. Like this is you getting people in front of you, getting good at your craft and your skill. Nothing will serve you more than that. And so every hour not having a body in front of you, whether it be virtually or in person, is wasted time. Like that, like you got to do that. Like that's first and foremost, and that's going to give you that. Now, while you're doing that, that also provides the content for social. So let's just say you are the person, I meet you at the store or a supplement store, we're talking it up, and I get you in front of me, say, hey man, Jai, tomorrow I got some free time. You want to come in? I'll take you through a workout. I'll go over some of those things I was talking to you about with your shoulders that you were asking me about. And you're like, yeah, cool, totally free. It's on me. Yeah, rad. So
Okay.
then you and I are in there. I'm gonna work you out, talk to you, teach you about whatever it was we talked about in the supplement store, about building your shoulders and some movements. I'm gonna teach you some things. And then the things I'm talking to you about are now ideas for content that goes on social. So if I gave you a tip for, say, shoulder health and mobility, because I noticed that on one side you kind of have a rounded shoulder, and so whatever it is that I notice about you or I help you with, that now becomes a piece of content that I put out free on social. And I'm just rinse and repeat. Every day, if I got 3 or 4 people in front of me, whether they're paying me or not paying me, that's 3 or 4 pieces of content I should be able to, at minimum, put up on social. You see how that just starts?
Okay.
You see how that compounds?
Yeah.
I get practice and reps. I get content ideas. And then guess what? All those 3 people are also opportunity to maybe become a client. And this also
is true.
Right? So now this becomes an opportunity for me to work on my presentation skills. Because one of the best, other than being a great trainer, the other number one thing that you can get good at is sales. And so this is going to give you that practice of doing that. And a lot of the other stuff that you talked about, all good ideas, but what I just said should be 99% of your focus right now. Bodies in front of me, repetitions and practice, both on my sales pitches and my content that I want to create and teach other people. Like that is what's going to, that right there will start to scale your business by itself. Yeah. And then we start to, the other things, what happens to a lot of trainers where we're at, that are highly motivated, intelligent, like all the things I can tell about you, you kind of want to do all the stuff. And it's like, what I'm telling you right now is the biggest thing that you can go do. And, and like a huge success if I was mentoring you, would be right now you maybe have 1 or 2 people at most in front of you every day. By next month, you've always got 5 people in your book. Like that's what I'm trying to do. That's it. And I don't care if you're making money. I don't even care if they're paying you. Just you come to me and you're like, Adam, I'm seeing 5 people a day every day now, and I was only seeing 1 person at most a day, and now we're seeing 5. 4 of them might be for free. I don't give a shit. But that's 4 bodies you got in front of you. That's going to make you a better personal trainer, give you a better opportunity for presenting sales, and give you more content to produce on social media. And it all come together.
Okay.
Jai, how many clients do you currently have? What are you doing right now?
So currently, so I just started as an entrepreneur. So outside the gym, I used to work at Crunch Fitness. This was like maybe about 2 years ago now. So I was doing really well over there at Crunch. But I mean, you guys probably know, like working over at Crunch, you have to work there for so many hours. You have to be there for so long with so many, clients in order to make a good amount of money and things like that. And honestly, I was starting to get burned out. So I just decided to try to move on and work on building my business outside of the gym. So at least I've been doing it seriously for about the last 6 months. It's been a little bit of a journey. I don't really, care to get into all the details, but I've just kind of been going through a lot. But 6 months ago, I finally decided to take it seriously. So I've been able to acquire 4 in-person clients, and right now I actually have 5 online clients. So so a total of 9 clients so far.
Okay, good, good.
But I'm trying to work on building that obviously as well. I do have a goal in mind as far as a number of clients that I would like to have so that I can kind of be comfortable. But so far I'm at 9. I actually have a goal of 30, so I can just kind of give you my goal. So far my goal is 30, either in person or online. So right now I'm at 9. So I guess great. I'm looking for about 21.
That's great. So one of the challenges, so social media is great. It's this wonderful tool, but here's one of the things that it's done that I think is a negative to trainers. Is we look at social media and like, this is how I'm going to market. This is how I'm going to get clients. Jai, listen.
Huge distraction.
Once you hang up with us, you go outside your car, start talking to people.
Yep.
Like I could get 10 clients walking out of my studio faster than if I was trying to get them on social media. Just walk around outside.
That's what I've realized as well, which is why I wanted to show, because at first my focus was online, but I just realized how difficult that can be. It's so much easier to just talk to people around me, so that's why I really wanted to try to focus on building my presence here locally as well.
That's right. Yeah, you go outside, you set up a body fat testing booth at the grocery store, you go to the park,
or something like
you talk to people, you do let's predict your all-cause mortality with a grip tester. You just talk to people outside. Trainers don't like it because it's scary. And when you look at social media, it lies to you because, oh my God, look at these guys with all these followers. They must be building this huge. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was going to turn a trainer into a 6-figure trainer, I would I wouldn't even have them start a social media. Like, we're going outside right now. We're going to go get you a client.
Where are you training out of right now? Like what gym?
So right now I'm training at it's a gym called Lions Pride. So they do Olympic weightlifting, personal training, yoga, MMA. Like it's they offer a lot. So it's called Lions Pride, and it's located downtown here in Cincinnati. And so that's where my in-person clients are.
And just to back up with what Adam said, your social media is to support what you're doing by walking around and talking to people and meeting with people.
It's a reflection of that. Yeah.
Your social media.
And I've been thinking of, I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
No worries.
I'm sorry.
Your social media is not your business.
Yeah.
That's not your business.
Right.
So the focus is I'm talking to people, I'm getting them in front of me, I'm getting as many people in front of me as possible, and this is how I'm going to build my business. And then as an afterthought, the conversations I have, whatever, I'll post it on social media to support my business. But that's not your business. Your business is literally, and trainers today really mess this up. It's no different than it was 20 years ago. And like I said, what's happened is people have gotten confused. And I'm meeting a lot of coaches who are like, I don't understand what's the right post and how do I do the right engagement and how do I convert people? I'm like, walk outside your door. Walk outside your door and talk to people. It's a million times easier.
You gotta immerse yourself where people
on that note, okay, I'm gonna say this to you, and I feel like I say this to people all the time, and they still ignore it and don't listen to it. But this is so important to understand. It is more powerful for you to add 3 new followers to your Instagram that because you helped some guy out with his shoulder pain and that are talking to you about their shoulder pain than it is for you to get 10,000 followers because you did the latest TikTok dance or did something viral that are you just have a bunch of looky-loos on your page. That I'm telling you that
totally the vibe.
That's right. Like, okay, this Mind Pump Media.
To be meaningful. Yes, I want it to be meaningful. Yeah, I want to actually educate people. The type of content that I want to post on social media is I want it to be informative and actually helpful.
Listen, Jai,
I'm not trying to entertain as much as I'm trying to educate.
Jai, if you had 100 people who followed you because they want to hear what you got to say, they DM you questions, they're interested in Jai, the coach, that is worth way more to your business than 10,000 followers that just like your content.
Yep.
I agree.
And the way you build that is through the people in person.
That's it.
You help people in person, and my buddy Michael does a really good job of explaining this with your goal is as soon as you coach somebody and you gave them a tip or you helped them out in that hour, as fast as you can, you get on that phone and you put that as social content. Don't let hours or days go by and then try and come back and do it. Why it's fresh in your mind. I just talked to you about shoulder health. I helped you out with a couple mobility drills. That's a piece of content. Yeah. Don't overthink it.
Yes.
It's literally, hey, I was just with my client Jai, and I noticed that he had forward shoulder on his right side. I showed him a couple mobility drills that totally helped him out. He felt all that pain go away when we did our shoulder presses. Here's those 2 mobility moves that I showed him. Do this 3 times before, like, boom. That's it.
Done.
That's a piece of content right there.
Done.
And that.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because like do it now is usually that's my problem. Just because I kind of overthink these things.
Don't overthink it.
So I usually have those. Thank you. Yeah, because I usually have those moments, where I'm having interactions with people and things like that. I'm like, man, this can be a great idea for some content, but I kind of put it off.
Yeah.
And then just kind of forget about it, So I definitely do need to work on being more proactive with these
Jai,
things.
do you have our course? Because our course is all about building your business.
No, and this is the thing. This is why I'm glad that I got a chance to hop on a call with you guys. I've been trying to sign up with your academy for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Every time I go on the website, it gives me the option of fill out a form. Like it's like a 2-step process, right? It only allows me to do the first process, and then it just thanks me for filling out the form, but then nothing else happens.
That's
I've even
weird.
communicated with customer service, but no one's reached out to me yet either. So
weird.
That's why I'm just glad that I hopped on a call with you guys. Yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to the wrong link or something, but I've been trying to join your academy for.
I'll take a look at that, but I'm gonna have I'll have someone call you today.
This is all the stuff we talk about, though. Just so you know, that's everything in the core. Everything you're asking. I'm like, these are all great questions.
And way in depth.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I've got so many more questions, which is why I wanted to join that academy, because I honestly, I need a teacher.
Yeah.
I know how to train, but I don't know shit about operating a business, so I need that leadership, and I trust you guys in your leadership for sure.
No, you got it, dude. I'm going to have somebody call you today.
Yeah.
We'll get you in the academy. That way we can see you as well.
Yep.
You got a great attitude. You got great energy. You're going to do great.
Yep.
Just don't get lost in the looking at what social media and the guys, just total waste of time.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine, though, if you're in our course. This is part of the guidance that we give all our coaches, so you'll be good.
Yes, I believe I will. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
We'll see you. We'll see you in there.
All right. See ya.
You got it. That's it's so funny that I mean social media has really skewed what it looks like.
Yeah.
But it's literally just walk out your door. I had a studio, not too far from here, small personal training studio, and whenever a trainer would come in to work in my studio, to rent space in my studio, I would always spend 30 days with them, walking outside the doors, getting clients, and it was 100% successful. Yeah. It was like, you just go outside,
talk to people.
But,
but
like initially they're like, how do I do ads on the internet? How do I get my a website? Should I make flyers? I'm like, no, follow me. We're gonna go outside right now for an hour, and we come back with 2 or 3 leads or 2 or 3 free workouts. Sometimes a client. It took 30 days. Mm-hmm. Easy.
When I talk to trainers about this in our journey with Mind Pump Media, I talk about this. This was like our greatest weakness in building this business, and it played out to be our greatest strength. And what I mean by that is we have no clue how to do social media or media. But what we do know how to do really well is help people and teach people.
That's right.
And so we just leaned heavily into that. It's like, hey, let's just give value. Let's just teach. Let's just help.
The core of it anyway.
Let's just share all of our experience, our knowledge, all of our mistakes that we made, everything we learned. Let's just give from and come from that place. Did not know what we were doing on the media and the social media side. And so it was very slow growth. We never had a hockey stick moment. We never went viral. We never had this huge moment. It was just, we did a little bit better every year. But then when you look at the sustainability of that, we have this incredible foundation that we've built. And I think this is, to your point, what social media, you have some of these overnight successes.
It gives this illusion.
Yeah, an illusion of that this is a good coach. All of a sudden this coach goes viral. He's got 1 million followers because he knows how to do social media. But really, he hasn't even trained that many people. He's not that good.
Right.
And so it's like, that will only last so long.
That's right.
Eventually you're found out. Eventually your people don't see results. Eventually you don't change
You're
lives.
Successful for 3 years.
Exactly. So you make a little bit of money for a year or two, and then nobody gives a shit anymore because you haven't done that. It's the reverse is true. It's a slower process, but it's how you build a sustainable business.
Our next caller is Jenna from Texas.
Hi, Jenna.
How you doing, Jenna?
Hello.
Guys, how are y'all?
Good.
Welcome back.
Right. Looking
What's
for
happening?
the update.
Oh, not much. It's a little cold here in Texas today, so
Oh, wow.
really cold. So hopefully we'll get some rain out of it.
How can we help you?
Well, I am here to give an update, my 60-day update from you guys. I don't have a script prepared today, but I've got some data for you and some things to talk about to maybe help me decide what I want to do moving forward. So I was on the Mind Pump on March the 4th, and I had started a combination. I took Sal up on his idea to alternate strength weeks and cardio weeks, and I have to say, it's been a fun adventure. So I started. I went ahead and did the full symmetry programming and alternated that with base run training. So on my weight week, I did 3 major lift days, and then on my non-lift days, I did some easy runs and some form drills because I was trying to get back to good running form after some injuries. My run week, I did 3 quality run days, and then I used the mobility and the trigger sessions on my non-run days so that I can a little bit of everything every day, but I definitely had some alteration in my intensity. So moving into this, I kind of gave myself 3 metrics to do. I actually did a 1 mile time trial. I did measurements, and then I also did a an in-body scan before and after, just to kind of track the progress of things. So that's what I've got today. So I didn't know how y'all wanted to.
Let's hear it. I want to hear. I want to hear the results.
So my mile time, I was able to decrease it by 17 seconds.
Awesome.
So pretty good improvement considering that I was running every other week with quality work. I'm really happy with how my form has come back in, and so I feel like I'm, kind of back on track that I can start to push again. My measurements were actually quite interesting. My measurements actually stayed pretty much the same, except I'm happy to report that symmetry has done wonders for some of my side-to-side discrepancies.
Yeah.
So that's the huge difference that I saw. So when I was looking at the And it really wasn't anything that I saw on the measurements. It was more on the DEXA scan of the actual muscle mass changes that I saw. I have always had a left leg that's smaller than the right because of an old ACL injury and probably the way I recovered afterwards. But I've actually got my left and right quad as close to the same number as they've ever been. So I'm now only 1/4 of an inch difference in my quads, which is huge because I was almost 3/4 of an inch to an inch smaller for
wow.
That's awesome.
So, and that's all. It's all run in symmetry. So I was super excited about that. I'm left-handed. I feel stronger with my right hand, but my left arm always comes up higher. And my arms have also, they've grown, but they've also become more normalized as well. So I'm super, super stoked about that. So shout out to the symmetry because I have one more week in phase 3. And so I haven't, so I'm kind of getting through all of that, but that part's been really awesome for me. So, and then let's see. I put on here that my mile time trial was a 17-second improvement. I said, in both of the half miles, I was stronger in that. And I said, it always hurts, but it's just over a little faster. When it comes to, I thought this was also a fun thing that I saw. I've had it when I went to the in-body scan. My skeletal muscle mass has increased 0.7. So I went from 53.8 to 54.5 muscle mass. And I'm a pretty small person. So I think that's actually carrying a pretty significant amount of muscle for my size. Yeah. I'm only 5'2", about 125 right now. So I was pretty happy to see that. That was probably the same amount of muscle mass that I had when I was at my leanest a couple of years ago. So I was excited about that. I think the only downfall is I'm gaining weight in order to gain the muscle too, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So my positives that coming from this style of training is that I felt like I was able to focus more on all the things. One of the things that I tend to not do as much, which I can't really get away with anymore since I'm in my 40s, is that I would drop the mobility, the focus work due to time constraints. And so the cool thing about the way that I had it set up is that I was able to focus on all the things. I could fit everything in and not feel like I was limiting myself in any way. I'm happy to report that I feel like my recovery is 1,000 times better. I mean, my recovery is more like I was in my 20s and 30s. Every day is not intense anymore, but every day is intentional. And I've really liked that mental and physical change to see that. I had a lot of fear going into doing this because I thought I might lose some ground. But I actually feel like I've gained a fantastic fitness base, and my body composition changes are actually trending back in a happy direction again. Just changing that up with training. A couple of my cautions is that in the early days, because I was feeling so recovered, I had a little bit of trouble letting intensity creep in just a little bit, especially in the early phases, because when the weight weeks felt easy with the isometrics, I wanted to do more. And so there was a little bit of, I had to hold myself back from doing a little bit more. But that patience was good because I'm also learning that it's okay sometimes to feel a little bit bored, because that's when your mind kind of wanders and you can do things. I think Sal kind of talked about that. What he did on the treadmill on his walking days is where you let your mind go. But I think that actually helps a lot with my mental load with training, and also alternating that with a busy life. So it actually made my exercise kind of more therapeutic in a way. So I liked that. My reflections on the last 10 weeks is that I have to keep my goals in mind. I have to make sure that I decrease that urge to compete versus progress in training. One of the hard things for me has been the weight scale isn't really telling me the big pictures, because some of my clothes are fitting a little tighter, but the measurements show that I'm trending in the right direction. And I have to realize that doing this as long as I have the change in my current fitness chapter, there's small increments. And sometimes the changes that I think I might want to see may require commitments that I don't know if worth it or time, or maybe I'm not willing to do, or maybe it is time to do it. So that's kind that's kind of where I came up with after my 10 weeks. I have, I think, pretty much I have 6 more weeks left if to continue on this course. I would like to finish alternating until I get all the way through symmetry. That's kind of my progress moving forward is, what do you think of how I've committed to the training, and what would you say to keep doing, or maybe caution with moving into kind of the later stages of symmetry?
You're killing it.
Yeah, keep going.
You're killing it.
Don't change
anything.
Don't change anything.
Yeah, it's
No,
working
you're doing
really well
great.
for you.
I mean, let's some things to highlight for maybe the listener who didn't hear the first one. Like, if I recall, we reduced the volume and intensity of running.
Correct.
And you've seen improvement on mile times, improvement on muscle mass, improvement on balance of symmetry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I could ask for better results from my client. I mean, you
Joint
obviously
pain, all that, everything's great.
Yeah.
you obviously followed everything through a T. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And keep.
I didn't change anything about I didn't change anything with nutrition. I didn't mess with any of my macros or go into a cut or anything. This is just straight
Training.
feel body activity I want to do. And, for a 46-year-old female who's, kind of on the brink of menopause, the perimenopause stage, it's really scary to try those things. But I'm actually shocked.
Trust in the process. Yeah, you did a great job.
And that was kind of one of my remarks that I put on here, is that I really want to thank Sal for talking about this and helping plant this seed for me, because this last 10 weeks has really been kind of a love letter to myself in a way. Many times I compare myself to my 28-year-old self, my 40-year-old self, and it's really not fair to me. So I think that's a testament to just kind of continuing to pour into yourself where you are. I live in a more demanding time. I've got kids, I've got a career, I've got all these things, and I have this limited amount of time. But if I keep showing up for myself, give myself some recovery, we can still do great things.
Oh, yeah.
You're moving in it. You're trending great. I think you should continue to alternate. Keep doing the run weeks and the strength training weeks. Stay in symmetry. And after symmetry, you could go MAPS Anabolic, you could go MAPS PPL, you could go Performance. Those are all great programs. And continue the alternating. It's working great for you. And I think it would work great for most people who are looking for what you were looking for, which was like a combination of endurance and stamina.
Hybrid kind of endurance.
And strength and muscle. It works so much better than combining them all in one workout.
100%. So I guess that's my next question. A couple of days ago, I'm a little behind on your daily podcast, but y'all actually alluded to maybe making a program that's alternating cardio.
we haven't made it yet, but as of right now, use our current programs and do what you're doing. So you'll
because you could do it with any of them. I could have you run Muscle Mommy 15, and you could run it just like that. Take a week on, week off, week on, week off, and you would see great results.
And I've done Performance, I've done Muscle Mommy 15, I've done Performance 15, and I've done, I can't remember the other one, but it would be interesting to me to actually go back to one of those other programs doing the alternating and see how much difference, how much better I could actually do in those phases.
I mean, I think that would be a great suggestion, is to actually go do something you've done before, so you can compare of when you now are doing the appropriate amount of volume and intensity and mobility, and you're taking care of yourself, how much better you perform in the program.
You're going to continue improving. I think your run times and your strength are going to keep getting better here for a little while.
Yep.
We're moving in a great direction.
Yep.
Thank y'all very much for your support.
Yeah, no, this is great. I appreciate you taking the leap, because that's a big, leap for somebody who's used to doing it all the time. But
I'll check back in with y'all after I finish phase 4, and I'll compare how much stronger I was from some of the other 5x5s I've done in my
Yeah,
beautiful.
Please do keep us updated. It's exciting.
Good job.
You're killing it.
Thank y'all.
You got it. Yeah, for people
crushing it, man.
Yeah, for people looking for just overall fitness, right? Stamina, strength. This approach, I strongly believe, is best for most people.
Yeah, it's pretty sound.
The only time I wouldn't do something like this is when you have to really practice a skill often. Like you're an athlete, you got to practice your swing often. But for somebody who's like, no, I just want endurance and I want strength.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it all in the same week, 1 week is strength, 1 week is endurance. And the data seems to suggest it's better. And the experience that people are having from it, everybody's coming back saying, this is weird, but I'm actually stronger and faster.
I mean, talk about one of the more difficult goals to achieve, right? We always talk about how
competing.
hard. Yeah. You have somebody who is like borderline competitive running.
Yep.
wants to keep body composition in check, wants to work on mobility. I mean, she
wants to build muscle, also wants to get more stamina and endurance.
Yeah, it's like the unicorn approach.
And I don't know if you could have asked for better results in that period of time. To reduce the amount of intensity and volume of your running, yet improve on your running time.
No, she did better.
Work out every other week and gain muscle, and not just gain muscle, but gain it to balance your body out more.
This is over 60 days.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I feel like because Justin's the most athletically minded, I would love to see you do something like this. Well, because I think you'd love it more than I would.
I know. I agree, because I remember when you were talking about it, and I was like, we'll see. But like I was actually considering it because I wanted to move more effectively.
And it's also, this is the other part of it. Besides it being really good programming for the body, it's also a nice mental switch every other week, because I don't know about you guys, but I know when I focus on strength, I have a different mindset than, now I'm focusing on stamina. And to alternate so quickly, especially in the same workout, versus like, this is my stamina week.
It's a hard shift.
Yeah. All week I'm focusing on stamina. Now all week I'm focusing on strength. I feel like mentally it would even be better.
Totally recovery, I think, too.
All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. One of the keys to fat loss is protein. It's true. If you're not eating a high protein diet, you're not going to burn as much body fat as you can. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about the smartest ways to use protein for fat burn and to build muscle. You got to watch this.
I wish I understood this earlier in my career. I think it was probably almost 10 years in when I started to just focus on this with clients.
I knew it was important,
but
I don't know how important.
Yeah, I knew it was important, but I also didn't